Hello everybody and welcome into Star Wars night on Thursday here at Jimmy John's Field. We have the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. I'm Brady Beaton alongside Carol Wolfbauer for the pregame at least. And Carol, we're up here. It was a little rainy earlier today. Our grounds crew working on the field. Should be a fun one tonight. Last night was a lot of fun. The Beavers get a extra inning wild pitch walk-off win against the Diamond Hoppers. Malik Bolin went yard twice. You had a Ray Hilbrick home run and a really nice bullpen performance from a handful of different Beaver pitchers.
Yes, yesterday was a very exciting game. We went into sudden victory, ended up scoring. We had a lot of wild pitches so far this year in the USPBL. Marcus Jett had a bit of a rough day, got to start out on first base to try and bring the Beavers on home, ended up scoring on a wild pitch yesterday. So the Beavers walked away with a win last night. I think they really needed to get another win under their belt. They're trying to sneak on up into second place right now. But yeah, a lot of balls flying out of the park last night. Noah Marcoux from the Hoppers, I think early on in the second inning, hit a massive home run to try and get them started. Unfortunately for them, the Beavers ended up kind of sneaking up on them and taking away, but pitchers from the Beavers last night out of the bullpen doing extremely well.
Well, let's set up the standings. Kara referenced right now the Westside Woolly Mammoths on top. They're a game ahead of the Diamond Hoppers thanks to the Beavers win last night. So Mammoths at 1, Diamond Hoppers at 2. 3 game back of the Diamond Hoppers are these Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And Kara, the way this playoff is set up, you start off the 3 and 4th place teams match up. Winner plays second place. Winner of that game plays whoever finished first. So getting up to second can save you a game and save you pitching for championship weekend.
Being the number 2 seed is actually the sweet spot. I've been saying this since the day I got here, that I don't personally, I would not want to head in as the number 1 seed. Especially as the number 1 seed, everyone's hunting after you. They know that you're the one to beat. And they go in cold on championship day.
Right.
Yes, they get to kind of scout a bit more, and yes, they get some rest. Number 2 seed is perfect because you don't have to play that first day. Yep. You can prepare for the second day, and then you're coming in pretty warm the next day already. You're not coming off of a slow week where you haven't done anything. Sometimes not doing anything makes it worse. If you're playing and keeping those reps going, usually they'll head into that championship game doing pretty well, like the Beavers last year, going against the Unicorns, the championship game, and took the dub home for the year.
Well, let's talk about the opponent of the Beavers tonight, the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Before we talk about what's in the lineup, let's focus on what's not in the lineup, and it's a pretty big missing piece. Burl Dixon, center fielder. If you've been to Jimmy John's Field, you've noticed Burl out there. He's not in the lineup. He did not play in the non-public earlier in the week. That's going to be a big loss for Taylor Jelenkowski and his squad tonight. Yeah,
Burl Dixon been struggling with a groin injury. Just happened to do it like last week sometime, just hitting the ball. Sometimes it's just random instances where it occurs, and Burl Dixon unfortunately went down a little bit last week, but Taylor Jelenkowski talked to him at the end of last week, right after Burl got hurt, and he said they're just looking for him to come back strong championship weekend, because that's when it really matters. Everybody makes it to championship weekend, so all you know is that you need your top guy up there. Like the Beavers, if they lost Chris Davis, it'd be a really tough go for them, but hopefully Burl can continue to be a rock for them on the bench this week.
Chris Davis and Burl Dixon were both the all-star captains earlier in the year. But another thing for these Mammoths, they played 6 games in 8 days. That is a heavy workload, especially with the smaller roster size here in the USPBL. So Taylor Jelenkowski's had to work around with the bullpen and hope to get long starts, and that's what he's hoping for tonight with the matchup when he sends Carson Ferry out on the mound. Last time out, Ferry, it was a mixed bag. He went 4 2/3 inning and only gave up 1 earned run. That's the good news. The bad news is he walked 7 in that performance, so maybe a little bit of luck on his side, hoping to be more of the 1 run and less of the 7 walks this time up.
Yes, Ferry, we had him for a short time last year on the Hoppers. Definitely struggles a bit with command, but when he's on, he does extremely well. But like you said, looking for some stamina from some of these starting pitchers, and you never know what you're going to find. Bo Atkins last week had his last professional baseball game, usually a closer coming out of the bullpen, and went 100 pitches for Taylor Jelenkowski. Massive win for the Mammoths. So you never know what's going to happen. Carson Ferry could have a fantastic outing tonight. It's just, are his guys there to back him up, and does he have the confidence to take with him to the mound?
Greg Luukkonen, the starter on the other side for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. A very rare lefty-lefty matchup to start on the mound. Not a lot of lefties. For a while, the Beavers had a monopoly on the southpaws. But we'll get two lefties starting tonight, Luukkonen versus Ferry. Hopefully we'll get a good low-scoring pitcher matchup.
But luckily for the Mammoths, Taylor Jellikowski actually coached Luukkonen for a short amount of time last year at the beginning of the year and the year before in 2021. So he knows what Luukkonen brings to the table, so he can communicate that with his guys as they step up to the plate tonight.
We'll have more pregame for you when we come back. It's Star Wars night on a Thirsty Thursday here at Jimmy John's Field. You're watching your home for USPBL baseball.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field for tonight's matchup between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Before we get started, let's take a look at all the sponsors that make this possible. Ascension, Belfour, Budweiser, Dave and Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom Audio Video Solutions, Jimmy John Sandwiches, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer, Pepsi, Scott's, and United Wholesale Mortgage. We thank all of those that make the broadcast possible for you here on the USPBL Network. Beavers and Woolly Mammoths. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both sides. We will begin with the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, the road team in today's contest. Leading off in center field, one of the best players in the league, one of the MVP candidates, Chris Davis. In left field, batting second, Rudy Ramirez. J.D. Stubbs at first base, batting third. In the fourth spot, the designated hitter, Malik Bolin, went yard twice yesterday. Ray Hilbrick batting fifth in right. Christian Ortega at the hot corner batting sixth. Marcus Judd batting seventh at second base. The catcher, Alex Crump, bats eighth and is behind the dish. Ben Wilcoxon at shortstop batting ninth. And for the home side, the Westside Woolly Mammoths, leading off in left field, Nick Webb. Dre Williams-Nelson in center field and batting second. Patrick Mills out and right, batting third. Fox Liam at first base in the cleanup spot. The designated hitter, the big man, Livingston Morris. Alex Garbisic is at third, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Zach Beadle, the catcher. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Colby Seltzer. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Trevor Austin, to round out the lineup for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And joining us tonight, we have a very special guest up here in the booth. My color commentator tonight, Oakland University head baseball coach Jordan Banfield, making his broadcast debut. Coach, thanks for taking some time out of your busy week and coming out here and helping me out on this broadcast.
Yeah, Brady, thanks for having me. It's going to be interesting. First time. looks really easy when I watch on TV, so hopefully we'll figure it out.
Well, I know you know baseball, so it will be a lot of fun. And, well, you're a guy, you've had a couple guys that have come through your programs that have played in here, so you're not too unfamiliar with this setup.
Yeah, no, I get over and watch every now and then when I can, especially when we have guys that are throwing. Obviously, Jacob Wozinski earlier in the year went on and was signed by the Twins, and Christian Stelling, not out there tonight, but left-hand pitcher of ours that's, I think, still got a 0 ERA,
yep.
Maybe leads the league. So a couple guys have done really well, and yeah, I get over here as much as I can to check in on them, and pretty close with a lot of the coaches in the league and whatnot too. So.
All right, we'll step aside for a moment as the players continue to warm up. We'll have more when we come back. You're watching the USPBL Network.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here on the USPBL Network as we get ready for this matchup between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Let's take a look at the two men on the bump tonight with our Ascension pitcher comparison, Greg Lucan and Carson Ferry. Not a lot of sample size to work with. You see just 15 2/3 inning combined. But the one number, Jordan, that jumps out at me for Greg Lucan, and that strikeout to walk ratio, 15-3, that's a pretty good number to be sitting at with a small sample size.
Yeah, I think just looking at, a couple guys that haven't thrown that many innings, 15-3 is excellent. You're talking about a 5-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is elite at any level.
Right.
Then on the other side, I know it's 4 2/3 inning sample size, but 7 walks in 4 2/3 to 3 strikeouts. I think, one of the big deciding factors likely will be whether Ferry can throw enough strikes.
Absolutely, keeping guys off the base pass. And, again, 4 2/3, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things for baseball. But had a decent start. He has had success in this league before, so see how they can bounce back from that outing as both sides look to get the win. The Westside Woolly Mammoths trying to stay in first place. The Beavers trying to climb up in the standings and close the gap on second place with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Last few Mammoths are taking the field on a wet Thursday night. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have first pitch and more here on the USPBL Network.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
National anthem has been played, and we are ready after we braved some rain in the pregame and leading up. We are ready for some Thursday night baseball. Brady Beaton alongside Jordan Banfield for this Thirsty Thursday matchup between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, the Westside Woolly Mammoths. The Mammoths, the home team tonight, so we will see their defense first. Let's take a look at the three-dimensional defensive lineup for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Left to right in the outfield, Nick Webb, Dre Williams-Nelson, and Patrick Mills in the outfield. Left to right in the infield, Alex Garbisic, Trevor Austin, Colby Seltzer, and Fox Liam. Zach Beadle will be behind the dish for Carson Ferry. And we mentioned before the break, a guy who struggled a bit with walks his last time up. Taylor Jelenkowski's going to need a long outing out of him. He's in the middle of about 6 games in 8-day stretch, so you're going to want to see a lot out of him. He will come at you with a 3-pitch mix, a 4-seam fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. So nothing too fancy with him, about as traditional of a mix as you can get.
Yeah, obviously just getting a look in warm-ups. It's high-end stuff. Just going to be about whether he can, like we talked about earlier, get it over the plate enough to get into at least the middle innings and give his team a chance.
Southpaw warming up, something that there's not a lot of in this league. He will lead off facing 2 out of 3 lefties in Chris Davis. Rudy Ramirez, the lone righty in the top 3 of the Beavers order, and then J.D. Stubbs. His lights are already on. There are some ominous clouds to the north of us, so hopefully the rain stays away. That wind blowing out strong to right field. If a lefty can get a hold of one, get it up in that jet stream, might be able to get a little assistance trying to push it over that right field wall.
Absolutely, absolutely. Interested to see how things look here early, and like I said, see if he can go get on top of some hitters.
Chris Davis, as we mentioned, is one of the league leading candidates for MVP. The average just shy of 350. He works a ton of walks. The top of the leaderboard, and that is the first pitch. Fastball over at 91. Good way to get started if you're Carson Ferry. Work from the stretch at all times. Kicks and deals. In the dirt, 1-1. Davis has been a very patient batter. He's exactly who you want in that leadoff spot. Work deep in counts, get to see a lot of pitches from whether it's a starter or someone just coming out of the pen. Breaking ball misses the top of the zone. 2-1. Misses again, 3-1. So after that first pitch strike, 3 straight misses. And now, do you risk walking a Speedy Davis, or do you pump one down the middle and risk it going into the gap?
Middle. Can't walk the leadoff guy here.
3-1. Chopper to the right side.
Oh.
Seltzer fields it, gets it over to first, and took a funky bounce, but Seltzer able to record the out, and Davis was ahead in the count, couldn't do anything with it. 1 away.
Yeah, good play on an in-between hop there. Not sure he needed to attack that as hard as he did, but stayed down and went in his glove, was able to get the leadoff guy after fall behind, so big out there.
Maybe a speedy guy like Davis thinking on the field you have to charge everything, have to maybe rush a little more than you normally would. Brings up the right-handed hitting Rudy Ramirez. First pitch swinging, pops out of play.
You talked about that 3-1 pitch, just wanting to lay one in there or work around him a little bit. And always at the top of the lineup, you just attack. No freebies to lead off an inning. If he gets a hit, he gets a hit. But really want to make him beat you with the bat.
Good spot for Ferry. Doesn't have to work around Ramirez. 0-2. Looking for that put-away pitch. Froze him. Heater at the knees. Ramirez might have been sitting soft stuff, and 3 pitches is all Ramirez gets to see before he takes the long walk back to the dugout.
Fastball in, toughest pitch to fight off as a hitter in a 2-strike count. Generally trying to get a little late there, stay on the soft stuff, fight off fastballs or get something and be able to take it the other way. You get the hard one in, it's tough to turn around.
Light rain has started to fall here in downtown Utica. You can see there on your screen, it is steady. Field has already absorbed a lot of moisture. See if Ferry keep that grip on the ball.
You might be understating the light rain a little bit.
Well,
there,
it was light and then it picked up in a hurry. Yeah, look at that. They're going to call it immediately. So you got, about 10 pitches in before the rain came, and everyone's going to head to their dugouts. And, well, we will step aside as we get a little more information. So stick with us. We will have baseball tonight, but, man, that rain came quick and it came heavy. So step aside for a minute. When we come back, we'll give you an update here on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
So you see the tarps, at least on the mound and the plate, as the rain coming down very solidly. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear. I'm really thankful, Jordan, you were able to come up with me. Otherwise, I was going to be doing this solo. And rain delays are just one of those things about baseball you have to deal with, but less so now as you see more fields getting turfed and taking away that element, especially here in Michigan where weather is going to be so unpredictable. And at Oakland, you have, what, a turf infield, turf foul territory. How nice has that been just to be able to, hey, if it's rain, you go, all right, you're going to get a little wet. You might slip once in a while, but you know you're not going to get canceled.
Yeah, that's completely changed my life. That was, watching these guys roll the tarp out here is bringing back some bad memories, or nightmares maybe even. I can't tell you how many times the first 2 years I was at OU that we were playing the tarp game the day before and the morning of and all that. And it's a complete game changer, obviously, especially in the spring. A lot of the weather that we play in, we're talking cold and wet a lot in the spring in Michigan. So
you go from snow to 55 and then it all melts.
Yep, and just knowing that anytime it's not actually raining, we can get out there and play and get our games in, get our practices in. I mean, it's been a complete game changer for us, and it was one of the biggest things I knew we needed to get done when I took the job here 3 years ago, and finally we're able to raise enough money, thanks to a number of generous folks. Shout out Hugh Elliott on that one, but no, just like I said, man, it's totally transformed what we're able to do, not only with getting our games in the spring, but with, we'll have it this fall to be out there and practice, and if we get a 45-degree day in January, we can get out there and play. And you see what a headache dirt and grass can be when it's wet, and not having to think about that anymore has made my life a little easier.
Well, and one thing people that have never had to deal with it might not realize, those tarps are heavy. And especially there's, about 8 guys out there, and they're struggling to pull that along. Yeah. God bless them, but they are using every ounce of energy they have to try to get this across.
Yeah, they don't have enough out there right now. I feel like I should go give them a hand maybe. But, and then you talk about the wind getting up in the tarp, and you can have some real issues. I know when I was coaching in South Texas, I think it was the first year I was there, we had big-time thunderstorm and tried to race out there and get the tarp on the field in time, and ended up having it wrapped around a light pole. And we didn't play that day. Had to come out the next morning and try and get it unwrapped somehow. So that was tough. We got some players heading out there helping out finally. So maybe they'll be able to get this thing on.
There. Looks like I saw a Malik Bolin sighting. Couple others, and look at that. Now they have it covered, and at least looking at the radar, if it's going to rain, but it's not going to rain for terribly long, and hopefully it's just about a 15-ish minute delay. Got Luke Stevenson over there, catcher for the Beavers. Yeah, those tarps are not fun, and rain delays can be fun, they can be long, but rain delay shenanigans sometimes are some of the most fun, lighthearted parts of baseball when you get some guys in the dugout and you're going to be in there for a little while. I'm sure you've had your fair share of rain delay games and rain delay shenanigans within that.
Yeah, I'm usually just miserable when it's raining, I feel like, and trying to figure out when we're going to get to go back out there and asking people 1,000 questions and staring at the radar. So I don't know if you'll see me sliding across the tarp or anything anytime soon, but who knows? This is all about entertainment here, right? So maybe we'll get a little bit of that.
Well, I'm sure it makes a little bit of a difference, and it's a little nicer when you have a clubhouse to go back into, and you can stay dry, and you don't have 20-some people huddled into a dugout. I think that might make a little difference as well.
I could see that helping quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing you got to look at here is you got a starting pitcher that just went out and threw 10 pitches and now is going to sit for a while. Be interested to see what he's able to give them when they get things restarted here. Because from what I've learned tonight about the USPBL, they're going to play.
Right. Yes, they are. If you're planning on coming to a game, it has to be pretty bad weather for you to not be able to come see the game you were planning on seeing. But you mentioned the starting pitcher. As a coach, how do you handle it? What are those factors you look into about how many pitches they throw, how long of a delay, and I'm sure it differs from pitcher to pitcher as well.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be a feel thing. I mean, there's guys that just are that type of guy that can bounce back and get hot again and get back out there. And he threw 10 pitches, so barely got going. I would think he'd be able to shut it down for a minute and just try to stay warm. Like you said, not going to be too long of a delay and be able to get back out there. But different for every guy. I don't know if the other team's starter got hot or not, but that certainly would be a factor as well too.
I have to imagine 2 outs in the top of the first is the other starter. You're ready to go. Like you don't have a lot of time to really ramp it up besides the 7-8 pitches you'll get, and we have the rain delay here, and at least the skies look a little better than they did 10-15 minutes ago. It looks like the rain has subsided for now, but the forecast is not saying it. It's saying it will be on and off for a little while longer. So a few fans that are just going to stay in their seats and brave it out. But, yeah, we're just going to play it by ear. And the other thing with the tarp, it's not, you don't just pull it off. It is a process to get it off. And once that process starts, you have to let the guys warm up a little bit again and get everything ready to go.
Yeah, no. Obviously, if it's short, if you're talking a half hour or less, pretty quick process to get back going. But just looking at the radar, I think we're going to be a minute here. So let's settle in and talk a little baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk some more baseball when we come back. We'll step aside for just a minute. More when we come back here on the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARBCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARBCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARBCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarbcom.com.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We are still in a rain delay here at Jimmy John's Field. We are hoping it won't last much longer, but stick with us. We'll keep you updated, and hopefully we'll have some more stuff for you during the rain delay. But for now, keep this graphic up on the screen, and we'll let you know the information as we do in regards to when play will resume. tarp is looks like they're trying to take the tarp off. So when we get an ETA on the start time, we will pass it along. Still in a rain delay here at Jimmy John's Field. However, the forecast looks a little better. Have some sunnier skies to the west. So hoping that we are getting back out there sooner rather than later. When we have more concrete information, we will pass it along. We appreciate your patience. We'll be back in a bit here on the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
All right, getting the tarps off. Still no concrete restart time, but it's a good sign as you see some of the grounds crew out there drying the field. Some of the players are stirring in both dugouts. Hopefully we have baseball sooner rather than later, and we will pass along the updates as we get them. And we have players back out on the field. Brady Beaton alongside Jordan Banfield, and about a 40-minute-ish delay, give or take. But looks like we're ready to go. Hopefully all the rain is beyond us. And, well, if you were wondering what the pitching situation was going to look like, at least for the Mammoths, Ferry coming back out here, not too bothered, or we'll see how bothered he was by that delay. I'm just throwing the last couple of warm-up pitches. J.D. Stubbs is at the plate. He will come back up with a 1-1 count. And it's got to be a little awkward resuming, first, middle of an at-bat, but two, middle of an inning after such a long delay.
Yeah, middle of an inning, middle of an at-bat. Got to throw 10 pitches and then go sit down for 40 minutes.
Right.
Also, Brady, I'm going to need you to check, is 10 pitches the least that's ever been called before a rain delay?
That might be a quick one. I mean, we thought we were going to get it in, and then the skies just flooded. So we are back. Hopefully we get more than 10 pitches from Carson Ferry. I'm sure he's hoping that'll carry over into the second inning. But there we go, 10 exactly. 1-1 count, and a breaking ball couldn't come through the front door, and it's 2-1, and we have baseball back again here in Jimmy John's Field. And a foul ball, that caught Beetle.
Foul ball in a tough spot there, Brady.
Yeah. That's a delay I don't think anybody will question.
Nope. Got 2 more pitches in before more interesting stuff happens.
Yeah. And we will take our time, as there is a lot of very sympathetic to Beetle, and as he takes a moment to catch himself, we'll take a short break, and hopefully we can get back and get a little bit of flow of this game. Appreciate you all sticking with us here on the USPBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And Zach Beetle still trying to catch himself, which, again, very understandable. He took a pretty rough-looking foul ball, and at least giving all the fans a moment to get back to their seats. Scott Combs is on the bench for the Mammoths if they need to replace Beetle, as this must be the longest at-bat of J.D. Stubbs' life.
That's a really weird start to a broadcasting career, right? We've got
if you can make it through this, you can make it through a lot. This is the ringer right now. And
got 10 pitches, 40-minute rain delay, 2 more pitches, and a lower body injury.
That's the best way to put it, a lower body injury. Is Taylor Jelenkowski just checking with Beetle as the trainer out there with him, and doesn't look like a whole lot of stirring over in the Mammoth dugout. Hard to see. But also Ferry, I mean, he has been a stop-start of a start as you'll ever see. Poor guy finally got to go back out there, and he might have to throw even more warm-up pitches. He's thrown more warm-up pitches than he has actual pitches at this point.
Yeah, we talked about whether or not he could throw enough strikes to give him a chance being a big piece, and this can't be making that any easier.
And Beetle very slowly trying to work his way up, and he immediately threw his mask down, and he is up and at least moving a bit. gathering himself. All right. Beatles got the helmet back on, taking a deep breath. And for the third time, J.D. Stubbs steps back into the box, ready to get this at-bat going. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. All right, what's the pitch here after 2 delays in a 2-2 count?
Brady, I don't know what the heck is going on right now, to be honest with you.
I don't know either.
Hopefully a strike and we can get things moving.
And it hits him.
That's par for the course right there, would you say?
I don't think there's supposed to be a full moon tonight, but 2 out hit by pitch puts a runner at first. Malik Bolin comes up to bat. And Bolin, he had himself a heck of a game yesterday. He had 2 home runs, and he put one halfway up the scoreboard. His 2 home runs combined for about 790 feet. Pretty good day. First pitch fastball low. And Jordan, when you're in the dugout, I mean, how do you handle this? Is every team different? Do you try to keep it loose? It's hard to stay focused through a delay and then another one, and I'm sure it depends on the group of guys, but how do you just keep the focus in the dugout, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we're talking about college guys and my level and guys that are pros or want to play affiliated ball here. And I mean, you just got to approach it like it's your job, and you got to find a way, because the team that does a better job managing all the outside stuff is the one that's going to have the best chance to win.
Beetle went down and blocked. It was slow to get up. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of new baseballs today.
I would like to see the runner standing on second base after a ball in the dirt that leaves the dirt circle right there, especially with 2 outs, a chance to get in scoring position.
And a catcher that might be a little slower moving after that foul tip. 3-0 misses.
Fighting off that lower body injury, Brady.
Yeah, exactly. You're always moving a little more gingerly after those lower body injuries. 4-pitch walk, and for a guy that struggled with command, I'm sure the nature of the way this game started doesn't do him any favors.
No, yeah, like I said, a lot of variables here that you don't usually have with the stop and start. We'll see if he can get ahead of somebody here, get out of the inning.
Ray Hilbrick, Purdue Northwest product, comes to bat. He went back-to-back with Bolin a night ago, put one on the hill over the right field fence. Runners on first and second, 2 away in what has been one of the weirdest top of the first I have ever experienced. 1-0 over for a strike, 1-1.
Brady, I'm going to ask you a question that I should know the answer to, and
Okay.
maybe you don't either. Do they have the pickoff rules and
They
whatnot?
do. It is.
Okay.
They have all the new MLB rules. So the 3 disengagements, pitch clock is in. So anything you see at the major league or affiliated level, they have here. So
just accept the bases, right? They don't
right.
have
The
big
bases are still normal size. They have not gotten the slightly bigger bases, but all the rules have been implemented here in the USPBL. Haven't seen too many guys really take advantage of the disengagement rule. 2-1 over for a strike. I think it'll take a while for guys to really figure out just how to deal with that and how to use it to their advantage.
I mean, it didn't take very long in the big leagues. Those guys are running a lot now, and it's, I was probably the crotchety guy that said, yeah, we don't need to change all this stuff and all that. But I think just about everything they've done has made it a better game to watch.
Ball got by Beetle, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hilbrick has an opportunity. Put the Beavers up early. Three-two, 2 away with 2 runners on. Still try to go over the middle. Don't want to walk the bases loaded, or do you try to pick a corner?
Middle.
And he delivers one middle that is put into the left field bullpen, just slightly behind on a 90-mile-per-hour fastball.
You're talking about a left-on-left matchup here. Keep attacking. Guy that's had a hard enough time throwing strikes. I don't feel like loading the bases is going to do anything to improve your chances.
Ferry delivers. Another foul ball. Hilbrick battling. Have Stubbs on third. Bolin on second. It was a hit by pitch and a walk for those two to reach. 25th pitch of the inning. Ferry delivers. Breaking ball through the front door. Hilbrick thought it was ball 4. Instead, it is strike 3 and out number 3. Couple of runners get into scoring position. The Mammoths can't do, the Beavers can't do anything with it. We will head to the bottom of the first. You're watching the USPBL Network.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born is a diver's watch. The challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Bottom of the first here at Jimmy John's Field, still scoreless, and finally we're able to give you the defensive lineup for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, brought to you as always by 3-Dimensional Services. The outfield, Rudy Ramirez, Chris Davis, Ray Hilbrick. Up the middle, Ben Wilcoxon at short, Marcus Judd at second, J.D. Stubbs at first, Christian Ortega at the hot corner, and Alex Crump behind the plate. He will be receiving for Greg Luukkonen, and he at least didn't have to start the game with the delay getting involved, but he did warm up, and it probably threw off his rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Not something you're normally going to do. Get hot, sit for 40-plus minutes, and then get out there for the top of the first without throwing a pitch in the game.
Buzzing the tower to Nick Webb to lead it off. It's Webb, Williams, Nelson, and Mills starting it off for the Mammoths. 3-pitch mix for the lefty Luukkonen. Fastball, changeup, and a knuckle curve. Fastball over at 87, caught the high outside corner.
I got to imagine this is a tough look for left-hand hitters. A little cross-body action, some angle. Really got to stay committed to staying on the ball.
Had him in knots with that curveball.
As you see right there. Really easy for left-hand hitters to bail out.
Tougher to pick up with that arm slot.
Yeah, it's the kind of guy that makes it look like he's throwing the ball from first base. Okay. Brady,
sure.
I don't know what's going on.
Sure. Why? I have a feeling we're going to get a little bit of everything. Did that go down the scoreboard? I'm assuming that's going to go up as a balk or
illegal pitch ball. Yeah. Breaking
ball misses up high. Scoreboard has it at 2-2. And we're going to. And Taylor Jelenkowski is asking what we're asking. I think he wants it to be a ball. And Jordan, you know better than I. Is there precedence for an umpire to just say, no, that was the mound's fault?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we have mulligans per se. I was actually afraid you were going to ask. I mean, you can't balk with nobody on base. There's an illegal pitch essentially. I'm not sure what conclusion they came to here.
They're going 2-2.
Okay.
So baseball is one of those games where you just get those situations that every once in a while, doesn't matter how long you've been in it, will throw you.
I'm pretty good with most of that stuff, but I don't know that I could give you the perfect answer on that one.
Moot point anyway as Webb swings through a high and inside fastball.
Some pretty tough-looking swings there, left on left.
Trey Williams-Nelson comes up to bat, and now I'm expecting anything and everything. Williams-Nelson swings at the first pitch, fouls it away. Called strike. Just at about the knees, 0-2.
Do we have splits, Brady? Do we know what left-hand hitters are hitting against Luukkonen on the
Yes, we can pull that up for you as Luukkonen delivers. Again, small sample size for him. As we look for that, I mean, Luukkonen is attacking the righty Williams-Nelson, gets a jam shot, caught by a leaping Wilcoxon, looked it into the glove, and gets the righty to flare it just into center field. Wilcoxon had a beat on it, 2 away. Patrick Mills coming to the plate. Right fielder hitting .211. Limited at-bats. Lefty, first pitch. Middle of the plate, chest high for strike one. Luukkonen's been attacking these hitters. Getting ahead in counts. Strike two on the black away.
Kind of another uncomfortable take there. Be interested to see if the numbers match up with my eyes on what kind of splits this guy might have.
The 0-2. Strike three called, picked the outside corner. Mills didn't like it, but it's 2 strikeouts for Luukkonen, and the Mammoths go down in order. We've played an inning, still scoreless. Back in a moment here on the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field, top of the second inning, Beavers, Mammoths, scoreless, as it looks like we should have smooth sailing the rest of the way, and I'm sure that's what Carson Ferry's hoping for on the mound. A uninterrupted inning. He will face Christian Ortega, Marcus Judd, and Alex Crump, 6, 7, 8 in the order.
I'll kind of believe it when I see it at this point, Brady.
Right, now, it's time to expect the unexpected. Ortega, take his time coming to the plate. Beavers put 2 runners on but didn't record a hit. It was a walk and a hit batter. Ferry is ready to go. Does work from the stretch at all times, something I think you're starting to see a little bit more of as Ortega fouls it straight back. Seems like you see less pitchers working from the windup. You see more guys going to the stretch at all times.
Yeah, so, bullpen guys in particular, but even starters now you're seeing it with just a lot of guys trying to simplify things, and because more and more we found out that the windup doesn't really add anything besides rhythm for guys.
Right.
But in the case of a bigger guy that home plate can jump around on him a little bit sometimes, just trying to keep things as simple as possible and have as few variables as possible sometimes gives guys a better chance to throw it over the white thing.
And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like sometimes if a guy's in a windup and gets into a rhythm, maybe retires 7, 8 in a row, is that one smoked foul. And then a guy gets on base, the transition to the stretch sometimes can throw him off rhythm even more once the guy gets on.
Yeah, no, all the timing is all different, and absolutely. You see more and more guys doing it this way, or even having sort of the hybrid delivery with just the little rocker step, but starting with your foot parallel to the rubber.
The 1-2 to Ortega. Late swing, barely got a piece of the bat on it, but stays alive.
Yeah, a little bit of a hanger right there. He probably wants that one back.
And that one was about middle at 77. Ortega just recognized it a bit too late.
Yeah, I mean, 2 strikes, you want to get late, especially as it relates to the fastball, but that was sort of a rolling curveball middle. That's sort of the mistake that you're waiting for with 2 strikes, and hope to hit something in the 6 hole and get yourself a 2-strike knock there.
It was 91 up by the letters. It's fouled straight back. Count remains 1-2. Ferry set. Once again, the 1-2. Breaking ball over but low, 2-2. Gone off speed, fastball, off speed the last 3. Does he continue putting him in the rocking chair?
Got to get that fastball in here if you're me.
That's what he went with.
Got it in, blew him up.
Got the weak contact. Popped over to Garbisic for out number 1. It's a thing or two about baseball.
And just you talk about the pitches that generally you want to try to execute with 2 strikes, going to be hard in and soft below the zone. And the hitter done a decent job there of staying late enough and laying off the breaking ball below the zone. So you kind of know that that's what he's trying to do. And if you can get one hard in, generally you'll get in on his hands and get some weak contact.
Marcus Judd up to the plate. Just a couple points above the Mendoza line for the year. Swinging at a first pitch breaking ball way out in front.
Sort of the opposite there. Marcus was trying to hit one over the foul pole and left and got the breaker, and that'll happen sometimes.
He was sitting dead red to start off the at-bat. Ferry pulled the string. Let's see who goes with on 0-1. Fastball in on the hands. Quickly 0-2.
Let's see if he can make that adjustment here and hang around a while.
Judd uses his 1 timeout. We were talking about some of the new rules and the 1 timeout for the batter. I've noticed that I'd say 80+% of the guys use it with 2 strikes.
Generally just trying to step out and reset yourself and get a little different mindset going to try and extend the AB. We don't have that in college, the timeout rule, so not too familiar with it other than just watching on TV, obviously.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, and Beetle was able to pick it. So 3rd punch out already for Ferry. And you can see why they like this lefty Ferry. You can keep it in the zone a little bit. You got something to work with here.
Yeah, big kid. This was been like 90-92, 90-93 on the mound with the fastball. Has been able to beat some guys with that. Sort of the bigger, rolling breaking ball. Yeah, definitely something there.
Crump Tardy on a fastball. 0-1, and Ferry doing something he didn't do in the first inning. First pitch strikes.
Yeah, you just see he's got a little rhythm going now, you know, and then at first it was stop, start, and he was spiking a few fastballs and whatnot, which is never a good sign.
There's a partially splintered bat, I guess is the best way to put it, as you saw it fly up in the air. Well, that'll be a long walk for Crump back to the dugout to get a new bat.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the field here, right? Is you get a good quarter-mile walk from the box back to the dugout when you break your bat.
It's a long walk, and again, back to the rules. I would say, unless it was a guy's first weekend here, whether it's a pitcher or a batter, usually haven't seen a lot of pitch clock violations. I'd say the first month or so we had about one a game.
Well,
I've had maybe one in about the last month, but where they were getting banged the most was walking from the dugout to the plate and getting it before the first pitch.
The hitters were getting it.
Yes, the hitters were getting it because they had such a long walk that, hey, if maybe they were warming up on deck a little down the line and they took their sweet time getting to the box, that's where they would get pegged with a pitch clock violation.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hike there. Pretty unique setup here. Fans pretty far from the field down the line. So I think you talk about the pitch clock though, like you have it in college now, right? So just guys are getting used to it. I notice when I'm out recruiting and watching a high school game, it drives me crazy when the hitters and pitchers are calling time and the catcher walks out there to go over the signs, 3 times an inning it feels like. So that's just really become part of it, and guys are used to it, and it's positively impacted the game.
And it seems like a lot of guys have very quickly made the adjustment. Like I said, it was about a month of guys getting used to it and thinking about it. And now it seems like even some of the slower pitchers have just gone, all right, I don't have time to wait around. I'm just going to get it and go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's just the pace is good for everybody. I mean, you hate to see at-bats ended on violations and stuff like that, which you were seeing quite a bit early in the big leagues, and saw it some in college too. But having the visible pitch clock is big too. We'll have that next year where that's required, and just a lot less ambiguity with it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 away. Scoreless in the top of the second. Crump waits. Fouls off the fastball. Count remains 2-2. Ferry looking for a very quiet second inning.
Yeah, threw a bunch of pitches in the first. I think 25, 26. If you can get out of here with 15 or so and keep the count reasonable.
Fly ball left field, well struck going back. Williams Nelson looks up off the Scott's sign in left center. Crump around second. He's hustling to third. He's in with the head first slide. A 2-strike, 2-out count, and Crump crushes one to deep left center. Nearly had a big fly. Standing on third with 2 away as Ben Wilcoxon comes up to the plate.
I was talking with Diesel yesterday, and I told him I was going to really wear him out. If so, he's lucky that we got into third safely there with 2 outs. Definitely an aggressive send by Coach Diesel there.
Took a nice bounce off that wall, which I think played a difference. It was 92 off the bat.
Just limited reward and big risk with 2 outs. Generally, that'd be a hold.
And Ferry, 1 pitch later, makes it a moot point as Wilcoxon pops up. Crump's stranded on third, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here on the USPBL Network.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
For the past 35 years, Bell's Brewery has been inspired to brew beers that you can count on. Just not for taste, but quality too. From Two Hearted Ale to Oberon, to new classics, Official Hazy IPA, or the easy drinking Golden Ale, Bell's has brewed inspired beers since 1985. Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Beavers Mammoths scoreless in the bottom of the second. It will be 4, 5, 6 coming up to bat. Fox, Liam, Livingston, Morris, Alex Garbisic coming up. And Greg Luukkonen had a very, carefree first inning. 2 strikeouts, a pop-out, and a nice job on the mound to get started.
Yeah, really clean inning for him, low pitch count, and we'll see if he can keep that rolling into the second here. You said Fox Liam leading off here, right?
Fox Liam leading off.
That's a name I remember from recruiting way back when. Do a lot with the Iowa junior colleges, and I think Fox Liam originally was a Nyack community college guy, which is North Iowa area.
I don't know if there's a lot in North Iowa.
No, there's community college.
There's a community college. Well, Fox Liam has found a home here at the USPBL, hitting over 300, 5 bombs on the year. He has been one of the big bats in this Mammoth lineup. Lefty-lefty matchup, and Jordan, you were asking for the splits as Liam hits it hard to center field. Chris Davis had to keep his balance. If he goes down, that's going all the way to the wall. Holds Liam to a single, but hit it hard off the bat, first pitch he saw.
Yeah, you mentioned the splits, and small sample size, but my eyes were lying to me apparently because lefties are hitting like 330 on the year.
Coming into the game, Greg Luukkonen against lefties, 7 for 19, so 368 against. Righties, 6 for 27. That's only a 222. Yeah. So lefties, and like Fox Liam, saw it well, hit it hard. And now here is the offensive tackle of the league, Livingston Morris, 6'5", 225. He's a presence in that box.
Yeah, that's a physical young man in the box right there.
Yes, it is. He's our home run derby champion. Still looking for the first in-game, though, but he did not play a game before the home run derby. He was taking BP, and they said, no, you got to be in the home run derby.
They put a guy in the derby that hadn't played in the game?
Yeah, that's how much he impressed them when he came in.
Okay.
And, well, for good reason, he ended up winning the whole dang thing. Counts 1-1 to Morris. Liam, short, cautious lead off of first. Off speed, misses high, maybe a bit outside as well, 2-1.
Short lead is right. We call that a fall down lead.
Don't even have to take a step, just turn around. Exactly.
Just land right on the bag.
Oh, and I'm sure you see it more when you got a power bat up there. You just want to let him swing away. And swing away he does over top of the off speed, 2-2.
I mean, what do I know? But I think guys playing here in any indie ball league or even in the lower level minors got to be careful with doing stuff like they see it on TV. You know,
right?
David Ortiz, doesn't need to, get that 12-foot lead. But if I was one of these guys hoping to get signed and moved on, I'd be pushing it in every way I could.
2 balls, 2 strikes after the foul from Morris. Luukkonen comes set. Looking over to first. Wave and a miss. Had Morris out on his front foot. Pulled the string on him. 1 away.
Yeah, good change up there. Fading it away on the outer half.
3 strikeouts for Greg Luukkonen as Alex Garbisic comes up to bat. I think you'll see more of those cautious leads as well when you have the southpaw on the mound. Just don't want to get picked off. Don't want to be that guy that runs into an out.
Yeah, no, you just can get a more normal lead that kind of call it a one-way lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're going back on everything unless it's you're getting into your secondary a little later.
It looks like Liam has another. See if he goes out to where he was, about a step further. Still nowhere near aggressive. The 0-1. Breaking ball just a bit too high up the ladder, 1-1. Sure, he'd love a hard ground ball up the middle. Middle infield and double play depth. 1-1. Broken bat goes to first. Stubbs over to Wilcox, and the return to first does not come. Judd was covering, but another broken bat gets the lead runner, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, pitcher hurting himself right there. Makes a good pitch, blows him up, doesn't get over and cover first on the potential 3-6-1 double play there, and now he's got to throw to another hitter.
Second broken bat we've seen. Zach Beadle comes up to bat. Hope he's recovered from his lower body injury.
I think that term may stick for a while.
Yeah, I think so too. Still scoreless. We're in the bottom of the second. If you're just joining us, we had about a 40-minute rain delay after 10 pitches in the top of the first. Beadle really.
Zach Beadle have any buttons buttoned
That's what I was just gonna say. He's might be a little humid down there. He's letting it breathe.
Golly.
One and one.
That's each their own. That look wouldn't fly with the Golden Grizzlies, though.
Well, if you're going to have a look like that, just it helps if you're performing. It helps if you're hitting the ball hard. And Beadle looking to do that with 2 away. Hits it hard, high, deep. Davis back, looking up, and Beadle.
He hit it off the batter's eye.
Off the batter's eye. And he gives the Mammoths the lead. Buttons undone, Chang hanging out. 2-0 Mammoths.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Spoke it into existence. Lower body injury not bothering him.
No, he's seemed to play through that one and got himself a little hanging off speed pitch there and deposited it off the batter's eye absolutely straight away center. Really, really good swing there. We'll see.
He hit it hard off the bat. I thought it was going to be deep. I didn't think it was going to carry the way it did. It just kept going.
Kept going, absolutely. We'll see. Maybe he'll go no jersey at all next AB after that one.
95 off the bat, projected distance of about 384. Center field, usually the deepest part, but here at Jimmy John's, it's really right center. If you get a look at the outfield, it'll be about where the Ferris State sign is out there.
Do we think that 395 is accurate?
I think so, because where it hit, it was the left side of the batter's eye, and it does come in a little bit. So righties have a bit of an advantage because of where that wood line is, because of how they had to structure it. So righties have a slight advantage.
Well, the flag's not moving at all. So.
No, maybe very slightly out, but nothing significant at all. Colby Seltzer at the plate, 1-2. Pitch misses away, 2-2. And Luukkonen trying to bounce back after giving up the bomb.
Well, we talked about not getting over and covering first, right? Would ended the inning. That's just a basic baseball play that has to be made, and you find that you pay for those mistakes a lot of the time. And
they compound.
He paid for it with a 400-footer to center.
Payoff pitch to Seltzer. Too low, ball 4. Have to face the shortstop, Trevor Austin. There you see JJ getting some work in. I think he had a nice relaxing time through the rain delay.
That's the dog.
Yeah, that is the most popular employee here.
Gotcha.
He is number 1 in all the fans' hearts.
Okay.
Sometimes, especially when you get a big crowd, you'll hear a big applause the first time he comes out, and it's like, hey, I know whoever's coming up to bat. They have some fans, but no one beats JJ. First pitch swinging, fouled high and far down the right field line, 0-1.
Be interested to see if maybe they look to run here. 2 outs, get a guy in scoring position. left-hander on the mound, but a big old leg kick, slow to the plate. Pick the right pitch to go on and see if he can't get there.
Standard lead over at first, if not a little conservative.
Now,
0-2.
A lot of times when you're trying to go first move on a lefty, you'll shorten up about a half step and try and discourage the pick, and then.
Well, 0-2 could be a breaking ball count.
Yeah.
Very short lead. The delivery. Fastball. High and in. Just missed a bit too high. Not a bad pitch on 0-2. But Austin lives to see another pitch. Luukkonen trying to get out of the second inning. The 1-2. Ground ball left side. Ortega fields it, goes the short way, and it gets away from Judd. That will move Seltzer up to third, and the inning will continue. Looked like he hurried it a bit, and Judd tried as he could to pick it. Lineup turns over. Nick Webb comes up to bat.
Yeah, a little lack of awareness there. Ball's hit really, really softly. Need to come get that, and the play's probably just descended across the diamond to first. Even a good throw with the tempo at which he played that, I'm not sure that the force at second was there.
Nick Webb comes up. Silver lining for Luukkonen is he struck him out the last time he faced him. Looking for another one of those. Swing and a miss. Don't think Webb was expecting the off-speed start off the AB.
He took some tough swings against him the first at-bat. I don't think he sees him very well.
Gets a piece of that one, but quickly 0-2.
A little adjustment there to try and stay on it longer, and still couldn't.
Seen a few times now, both pitchers, they're stopping their cleat on, trying to get that wet dirt out. That better grip, and so we don't see anyone slip on the mound again. The 0-2 to Webb, runner at first, off, pitch, misses outside, throw down. They have the runner at first, Austin in a pickle. They're running him back. They'll flip over to Stubbs. Runner going home. They throw. They can't get the tag, and Austin runs through Judd. Everyone's safe, and it's 3-0 Mammoths.
Yeah, that's not great right there, Brady. Little old school steal stop play. Interesting that the runner pulled up and the runner on third didn't take off immediately.
Right.
But waited for the rundown, which as defenders you got to have more awareness there and not make that throw, because what the runner at third is looking for there is he's looking for the ball to get in the first baseman's hand. Right. Get a guy that's not as comfortable handling the ball, moving away from home plate, and you try to score the run.
And a guy, when you're moving to second, you don't have the vision on him as well.
Right.
I do like the call from Taylor Jelenkowski with a guy that maybe hasn't seen the ball great, 0-2 count, try to make something happen, force the issue, and well, he did. It paid off for him.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about, a league in a situation where guys, it's more of an individual development focus, right? So the team baseball concepts aren't maybe as ingrained, and that, but that's a pretty basic thing. I mean, you see that going back to little league stuff, right?
Right.
And just understanding as the middle guy there, once you have the ball, that you're probably not giving it up, even at the expense of.
Right, walking back to first. What's the?
So if somebody runs that against us, yeah, we're gonna put the ball in the middle infielder's hand. We're gonna walk back to first. We're gonna not try to record the out, and we're gonna never give up the run. And what you find is that just it's in the scouting report, nobody runs it against us.
Right.
Because
in that case, worst case scenario, you just go, okay, missed. Now it's 1-2, same spot.
You just start over, and you've taken that play out of the opponent's arsenal.
Check swing. Webb broke the plane. That will be strike 3. And finally, the Beavers get out of the inning, but not before 3 runners come across to score 2 on the Zach Beadle shot to dead center field. We've played 2, 3-0 Mammoths. You're watching the US PBL Network.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Top of the third, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers looking to get some back, trailing 3-0. They send up the top of the order. Chris Davis, Rudy Ramirez, J.D. Stubbs. Is Carson Ferry back on the mound, and, well, outside of the triple, he's been missing a lot of bats here through the first couple of innings.
We've kind of seen it all early here,
yes,
haven't we?
We have. It's only the third inning. There's a lot more that could happen and likely will happen tonight, and just it doesn't it seem like, no pun intended, when it rains it pours with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, he was cruising right there, right? Luke
right.
really rolling. Then they throw the double play ball, don't get it, give up the homer. Then another freebie, right? And then they run the old school, steal stop play on first and third with 2 strikes and 2 outs, and defensive miscue, gives up another run. So things turn quickly there.
Some of the fans, the groups that come out here at Jimmy John's Field in getting their picture out between innings, as it will be Chris Davis coming up to bat. Rolled over top of the 3-1 his first time up. That was about an hour ago. So we talked about the pitcher's rhythm, but I'm sure batters like to get into a rhythm too, and not too often you have for him it was about an hour and a half between at-bats.
Yeah, a little easier for hitters because you can go get in the cage and all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, certainly not a plus.
And we are getting the last few fans off the field down the right field line. $3-0 Mammoths here in the top of the third.
Gotta love Coach Diesel just walking straight through the lake, right?
Yes,
there's a few
puddles right in front of the dugouts, and Diesel he just needs to get to a spot as the first pitch misses inside. Probably hoping his Beavers, hey, if you can just scratch one back across, get one back, still have a lot of game in front of you. Try to slow down the momentum for the Mammoths here.
You got a high pitch count for Ferry at 43, just through 2 innings. So you can just work a little bit, like you said, scratch one, hope to get into the bullpen a little bit. Things could turn around in a hurry. And there you see he's spiking a couple fastballs again, which didn't happen for him last inning.
Looks like they're asking for some new baseballs.
New glove, I think.
Oh,
I think his catcher's glove broke.
Sure.
Yeah, perfect.
That add it to the list. I think that's the first time I've seen the catcher's glove break this year.
Yeah.
And his Beetle. Yeah, got a new glove.
Nobody in a hurry to run it out there to him or anything either.
Well, yeah, come on. Got a few guys on the bench. I mean, all right, Beetle back behind the dish. 2-0 to Chris Davis. Not the kind of batter you want to fall behind. Second straight time, it's been a very favorable hitter's count. Hard hit ball into right field. Single for Davis. Leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, you go 2-0. The hitter can cheat to the fastball there, get the barrel out, and smoke one in the 4-hole there.
Ball was still a little inside, but Davis was sitting dead red, and, well, gets a speedy man on first to lead off the inning. That's exactly what you want if you're trying to answer a few runs that you gave up in the last half frame.
Absolutely. And you talk about hitting. I mean, hitting's all about timing and being able to make timing adjustments based on the count and situation. And, right there you get into that 2-0, and you can afford to cheat a little bit.
Rudy Ramirez went down looking last time. Swings at the first pitch he sees. Fouls it straight back, 0-1. Chris Davis, a speedster with a very short lead over at first. Does not mean he won't run. Slide step delivery, breaking ball. Doesn't find the back door, 1-1.
Yeah, a lot tougher guy to run on here, right? Real quick to the plate.
Not really trying to bait a disengagement. Play the game within the game as Ramirez gets a hold of one to the right center gap. Williams Nelson on his horse. He can't make the diving catch. Davis heading to third. He is being held at third. Runners on second and third after the Ramirez double. Beavers wasting no time putting pressure on the Mammoths here in the third.
That's good swing right there, driving it hard to right center. Good base running by the lead runner. Now you got 2 on, nobody out. Chance to tighten things back up, just like we talked about.
And 3, 4, 5 coming up in the order. Stubbs had the longest at-bat of the year here at the USPBL. Took about 50 minutes. Ended with him getting hit in the ribs.
Well, the key for him here is, yeah, you're a middle-of-the-order guy. Don't try and do too much, right? Get 1 in, 1 over. Change the scoreboard. See if you can't move the guy from second over to third with 8-hop ground ball a second.
Infield playing normal depth. Not trying to cut down the runner. Lefty-lefty matchup. Hard hit right to second. 1 hop into the glove for Seltzer. He'll take the out. And, well, right on cue, J.D. Stubbs just does a job. Gets an RBI for his efforts. 3-1 Mammoths on top.
Yeah, good job right there. Quality team swing. Get 1 in, 1 over.
Also moves Ramirez up to third, so Bolin can repeat what his predecessor did. Can make it a 1-run game. He's a guy you don't want to make a mistake to. Really good fastball hitter. Starts with the off-speed 1-0.
What you're going to see in these situations, these RBI spots, right? You're going to see more off-speed early in the count as a hitter. That's where you got to stay disciplined. Just get in the middle of the field, not try to do too much.
With the 4-hitter coming up, do you pitch around him a little bit, having a couple bases open? His ground ball to third. Garbasick throws across the diamond, but back-to-back ground balls driving in runs. Beavers taking advantage. 1-run ball game, but they get 2 of the 3 runs back here in the third.
Hey, you talk about pitching around him. This early in the game, you're attacking, right? You're not worried about giving up 1 run. 1 run's not going to win or lose the game at this point. You want to avoid the big inning.
Now the bases are cleared with 2 away. Ray Hilbrick struck out looking last time. About a 4-hopper over to first. Liam take it over to the bag, and that'll do it for the third inning. Beavers get a couple of runs on RBIs from J.D. Stubbs and Malik Bolin. Head to the bottom of the third after the 5th third out of the game, but we will keep it here for a moment as it is one of the best times of the games. Everyone's favorite, JJ the Water Boy, making sure our field umpire stays nice and hydrated, and, well, he always gets a treat for his efforts. As always, brought to you by Michigan First Credit Union. And so patiently waits. He is, again, the star of the USPBL. We'll be back with the bottom of the third after this. You're watching the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Bottom of the third, Westside Woolly Mammoths up to bat, holding on to a 1-run lead. 3-2 Mammoths as it's 2-3-4 in the order. Dre Williams, Nelson, Patrick Mills, Fox Liam coming up to bat. And Greg Luukkonen hoping for an inning more akin to the first than the second.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, was cruising and then let it get away from him for a minute there. Be big to come back and throw up a 0 here after his offense just did a nice job and got 2 back for him, got him back in the game.
That's one thing, at least as being a guy in the booth, you like to see when, hey, your offense picks you up a little bit. Help them out and put up a goose egg there and kind of flip the momentum a little bit.
No doubt. Quick inning, be big here, get your offense back out there.
Violent swing from Williams Nelson comes up empty. Pitch caught a lot of the plate. Williams Nelson just couldn't find it. Luukkonen into the windup. Breaking ball, bit tardy. Again, wasn't on the corner. That was over the heart of the plate. Williams Nelson maybe looking for something else.
Yeah, it's just a situation where you're trying to stop and you don't make up your mind quick enough. You know, sitting on something hard, get the breaking ball, and ideally that's just a take.
Takes the fastball the other way. Hilbrick going back. Off the glove into the corner. Williams Nelson on the horse. He's not stopping at 2. He's pumping all the way to third. A stand-up triple. Lead-off triple with 2 strikes. And, well, talk about putting up a goose egg. It's a lot harder when the leadoff man's standing at third.
Really good 2-strike swing right there. Going the other way. They're trying to go in. Don't get it in there. And gets it on the barrel down the right field line. Looked like he got there and didn't hang on, right?
It's hard to tell live. I mean, he had to run a long way for it. But the ball seems just carrying tonight.
Yeah,
like, I didn't think it was going to go as far as it did off the bat.
Hard to tell.
Patrick Mills trying to do a job. First pitch above the helmet, 1-0. Third baseman Ortega playing slightly in, about even with the third base bag. Everyone else normal depth. The 1-0 half-hearted hack puts the count at 1-1. There you see Ortega. Something's hard at him. Might try to gun down Williams Nelson. Everyone else looking like they'll take the out. 2-1 after the breaking ball missed.
He's playing sort of halfway there with the left-hand pitcher, just trying to not let the runner get completely out of control with his lead.
2-2 after the foul ball. Going back to the Williams Nelson triple, we had the home run from Beadle that off the bat I thought it was well struck. Didn't think it was going over the center field fence, and that one I thought might drop in on the line. That one almost carried to the track. Don't know, the wind doesn't seem to be blowing too much, but the ball definitely carrying tonight.
Yeah, center, right center for sure.
Full count to the 3-hole hitting Patrick Mills. Fox Liam waits on deck. Swing and a miss. Late decision to attack the fastball. And that's a big out number 1 for Greg Luukkonen. 4th strikeout of the night. Excuse me, 5th.
Mammoths need another team at bat here. Some contact in the middle of the field, drive that run in.
Fox Liam saw 1 pitch last time he came up. Tattooed one right back up the middle. And a check swing that breaks the plane. I know a lot of pitchers, they like when they see the check swing because that means guys aren't seeing it well out of the hand.
Yeah, and you know right there that he's looking for something hard and he got something soft and couldn't stop himself. That's where these hitters, you know, if you think about all these, he hung it and he hurt it, I think.
Got something soft, hit it deep to right field, and Hilbrick skates over to the line and makes the play. Wow, off the bat, I thought that was halfway up the hill. Instead, it's just out number 2 and a sac fly RBI.
Good adjustment by Liam there. After the bad swing at the breaking ball, likely you're going to get another one. I think he got it off the end.
And that was a pitch middle.
Yeah, hanger middle, just a little out front, caught it off the end, but did the job, got it to the outfield, and drove the run in. Plus, a pretty impressive 2-foot down NFL catch there and right.
Honestly, I don't know if Hilbrick skates at all, plays hockey, but he kept his balance on some slippery grass out there. If that one gets down, if that one hits off the glove, the inning could unwind a bit.
Absolutely.
Livingston Morris up to bat. Big swing at a pitch up near the letters 1-1. When you got a power bat with Morris coming up, nobody on, 2 away, do you let him swing a little more freely in this situation, or do you want to try to start a rally?
No, 2 out, nobody on, you're trying to do some damage, especially with a guy that can do it. What you saw right there on the swing was the little check there. He's looking for something soft, and the ball's by him, and he just can't stop himself.
1-2 to Livingston Morris. Struck out swinging his first time up. Four, 2 Mammoths here in the bottom of the 3rd. Looks like there's
it seems that one of those cleat cleaners would be a good investment here.
It is Luukkonen has had quite the amount of dirt stuck in that back cleat. You can see right there at the bottom of his cleats. With 1-2, nearly caught Morris. It'd be a tough guy to miss. That's a whole lot of human in the right-handed batter's box.
I'd be getting in my guys a little bit for getting out of the way of 2 strike pitches, but
count goes 3-2. There you can see when he steps away just how much dirt is caught in that cleat. That can really mess up a pitcher's timing, and if he doesn't have the grip, it's harder to deliver.
Yeah, the rest of the dirt doesn't seem too bad, but the mound's definitely causing some issues. Could be that half tarp method that they went with.
Breaking ball misses low to Morris. 2-out walk. Alex Garbasic comes up to bat, grounded out into the fielder's choice, the 3-6 fielder's choice last time up.
Talk about the tarp. I do have to mention I feel bad for those guys on and off.
They were working hard.
Jeez.
They were working hard, and usually so throughout the summer, I'm sure you've seen, or if you've been around the ballpark, a lot of interns. We had some really good ones this year. School's starting back up. So we lost a good amount of them going back to school, but the people that are still here, they were doing the best they could with that tarp, because you and I both know those things are heavy, and usually when you see a college team working it, you have basically the whole team moving it, and it's still not easy.
Yeah, I think they had 8 guys on and off on the full field tarp, and that's just not enough.
Right, and I will give them credit. They were working their tails off, so hats off to them. 0-2 to Alex Garbasic. It's Luukkonen trying to minimize damage here in the 3rd. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got it by Garbasic. 2-out walk does not come to pass, but the leadoff triple from Dre Williams-Nelson does. We've played 3. Mammoths added a run, 4-2 Westside here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood, because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and recenter life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Top of the fourth inning, 4-2 Mammoths, and the batters have had the advantage ever since we've come back from our rain delay. Runs have been put up in each of the last 3 half innings. As Carson Ferry, fourth inning of work, hoping for a much quieter fourth. He'll face Christian Ortega, Marcus Judd, Alex Crump, 6, 7, 8. Same order he faced in the second inning.
We're kind of back in the same spot here. One of these pitchers needs to throw up a 0, right? And
right.
Give his offense a little bit of little support.
We've had 6 hits so far in the ball game. 4 of them have been extra base hits. Home run, 2 triples, and a double. Been all or nothing with the guys on the mound. First pitch takes a hop, and basically anything in the dirt, that ball's going to the side.
Yeah, that was the 55-footer again.
Ortega popped out. He hits that one hard. Oh, Diesel, get out of the way. That one nearly caught him.
Lesser athlete might have worn that one.
Unfazed. Unfazed, ready to go.
He knows I'm talking about him right now, too, so that's good.
He's laser focused. He is laser focused right now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball low and inside, 2-1.
Good take right there, a little back foot.
See if you get someone overly aggressive after they just hit one hard but foul.
Absolutely, right? Show you he's a little early.
That one, that's a pitch you don't want to let go by. That was a breaking ball down the middle that, well, I'm assuming he was sitting fastball with that one.
Yeah, kind of a roller, right? I mean, he throws that big curveball, so it's easy to just kind of give up on it.
Breaking ball, trying to pick the back corner. Despite the best efforts of Zach Beadle to frame it, home plate umpire wasn't buying what he was selling. Three-two, misses low, leadoff walk for Christian Ortega.
Good take right there. That's a young guy with an idea how to make timing adjustments and what he's looking for in certain counts. Pretty impressive.
And there was a reason why in college Ortega hit either above or near 400 in basically all of his collegiate seasons. So you don't have that success without a certain approach and a certain mentality at the plate.
No question. No question. Hitting, there's a baseline ability of swing, but best hitters aren't the best hitters because they have the best swing. They're the best because they can manage counts and make adjustments. And
well, one of my cliches I like to bring up just about every broadcast, and I think it holds very true in baseball with how sometimes luck can play in. You got to be process-based, not results-based, because you can be doing everything right and you can be hitting 100 in a 10-game span. You could be doing everything wrong and you're getting blue pits left and right, and just because you're hitting 350 doesn't mean you're having quality at-bats.
Yeah, over the course of a season, you're right, the luck tends to even itself out, but over small sample sizes in baseball, right, there's a lot of that.
Judd puts one in the air, and Mills was sliding around a little bit. Was able to bring it in for out number 1. And Judd just missed that a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the best guys just do a really good job of managing, when they're assessing themselves after every pitch or every at-bat, right? Did I try to do the right things? Did I execute what I was trying to do versus did I get a hit? I mean, you go talk to a hitter before an at-bat, and I just need to get a hit. You know that
right.
They're in the wrong spot.
Right. Ooh, that one caught him. That hit something, didn't it?
Yeah, I need to see it again. The hitter didn't react like it hit him. I think that may have been a shin guard.
That hit off the catcher?
Yeah.
It hit something. You could hear the thud. I thought originally it either hit the hand or the handle of the bat. Maybe it was the tip of the glove.
No, that's just off the catcher.
That was low. Optical illusion from where we were, so shame on me. That one hit him.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
there was nothing about that. So the last pitch, it actually hit the plate, and from back here, it looked like it didn't go low, and then that one, well, made it easy. Ball in the thigh, can't miss. Alex Crump reaches for the second time, puts runners on first and second, with one away for the shortstop, Ben Wilcoxon.
Interested to see if Coach Jelly gets the bullpen moving at all here at 65 pitches and home plate jumping around on him a little bit again.
And in the middle of a tough stretch where you have to find a way to use all the pitchers you can and try to get the most out of them. And it's a tightrope to walk when you're short on arms, but not short on innings to throw.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I'm looking at the roster. There's 8 arms on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, you think on a normal weekend, right now is when there's usually the most games, but you might have 2 games in a weekend sometimes. So there'll be weekends where those 8 arms seem like an overabundance, and you're trying to get guys work, and you get in a situation now where you're trying to not overuse anyone.
Oh, absolutely. I think, what did he say? They had 3 and 4 days or
right.
whatnot.
I think it was a total of 6 and 8. So the non-public back on Tuesday. They played on Sunday. Later this week, they will play again tomorrow, and then this Sunday is a 4-pitch walk to Wilcoxon. Bases are loaded. 2 walks and a hit batter.
Yeah, that's not what the Mammoths need here.
And coming up, Chris Davis will have a meeting on the mound. Richley came back from the clubhouse area. Now, I'm curious to see if they are using the bullpen or if they're using one of the indoor facilities nearby, if they have the bullpens basically tarped off and they're just, with so much rain, not able to be used, that when guys are warming up, maybe they're not warming up where they normally do. Because it's hard to tell, but yeah, you can see right there
it's tarped. Yeah.
So we're not going to know when guys are warming up. So I think Richley is getting ready to come in. Tyler Richley, the Ball State product.
Remember that name too. That might be maybe Lamar Community College out in Colorado before Ball State, if I'm not mistaken. You can check me on that.
Well, Richley from Durango, Colorado.
I think he went to Lamar Community College before Ball State.
Chris Davis up to bat. First pitch, either a called or swinging strike. Either way, it's 0-1.
Both, I think.
Ground ball foul quickly, 0-2.
The situation here, you can't be looking to pull, right? He's early twice in a row. See if we can make a little adjustment.
Bases loaded, 1 away. I'm sure Ferry would love a ground ball, turn it, get out of the inning. Breaking ball just missed that high inside corner. Probably not where you want to put it, but probably not where you're expecting it either if you're Chris Davis.
No, not a great pitch, but the hitter bailing out a little early again there.
And by the way, Richley did play at Lamar Community College, so.
It's amazing how many guys you run into and you see the name and you remember it.
Ground ball foul. Count remains 1-2.
Ideally, here you'd be looking to hit something to left center.
They are playing Davis to slightly pull. Have Dre Williams Nelson about 15-20 feet towards the right center gap, so a lot of green out in left center. 1-2 fastball doesn't nip the top of the zone. 2-2.
No shifts allowed either, Brady?
I have not seen any infield shifts, so I do not believe it is allowed or it's restricted, as I guess is the best term to use it, because you'll still see shifts, but
right. No, you can't go on the other side of the bag. Well, that's going to be
ground ball. They needed Austin over to Seltzer to first. Not in time. Gets by Liam, and a second run comes in to score.
Defensive miscues continue to be an issue both ways here.
They are a theme as the Beavers get 2 runs across.
That's a tough one right there. The shortstop, I think, thought it was hit harder than it was and really could have just played through that and taken it himself.
Right.
The second baseman's playing over pretty far into the 4-hole. So, really to turn that, the shortstop needed to take a more aggressive angle and take that himself. But then the other piece there is you give up a second run because the first baseman tries to make a swiping pick when the runner's already through the bag instead of just coming off, squaring it up and knocking it down and limiting him to 1. So
basically playing catcher at that point.
That's what you'd want. That's
Right.
what you'd want. Yeah, you got to have enough awareness there and that clock in your head to where you know we're not going to turn this. This ball can't get by me, and we're gonna limit them to 1. That's so. It's a lot of the stuff I love about baseball is just the different ways that you can score and prevent runs and how the things that seem little end up being not very little when they change the scoreboard.
So for Chris Davis, if you're keeping score at home, that's a fielder's choice that went 6-4 with an RBI plus you give an error that scored the second run. So 1 RBI for Davis.
Yep, E4 and then a second run scored on that.
Hard hit ball for Ramirez,
Good
right center
swing
gap.
there.
It was a bit of a jam shot. Still got enough of it. Second hit of the day for Ramirez. Runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Oh, looks like they're untarping the pen there. So.
And down the left field line, you have, trying to see which pitcher that is for the Mammoths down the line. But yeah, they are taking the tarp off. So
my eyes are no good, but it looked like a single digit. That's helpful to you.
We'll figure it out in a moment. J.D. Stubbs up to bat. Hit by pitch, 0 for 1, and RBI. Pitch gets away from Beadle, and Davis, who usually can get pretty good jumps, was a little gun shy. 2 away, maybe not worth the risk to move up to third.
Yeah, you don't want to make the third out of third base. But on that one, I mean, that ball's 30 feet away from the catcher. If you get the proper jump, you're into third standing up there.
What's this conversation going to be about?
Probably something weird based on the first few innings.
I can only imagine. It looked like it was Beadle that
pitch clock.
Looking for the count?
No, I think it's a pitch clock situation.
Holding up a 2.
Or
Diesel down the third base line asking for some sort of explanation. Scoreboard still showing 1-0.
The number of outs, maybe?
There was definitely, I mean, it was Marcus Judd flew out to right and Chris Davis hit into the fielder's choice. Scoreboard still reads 1-0. If it's not a pitch clock, Jordan, I'm not sure what that was about. Fastball low and away. Beadle does a better job keeping it in front that time. 2-0.
Did a better job with his angles there and kept it in front. He's getting a workout back there, too.
Yes, he is.
Not his pitcher has not made it easy on him.
J.D. Stubbs. Good hitters count with 2 away. Trying to take the lead for the first time. Breaking ball at the knees, 2-1. Really have to trust that pitch to go with it 2-0.
I think a lot of times when you're just trying to do something different, right? The fastball's not a strike for you. You don't have the feel for it. You're just trying to do something different, get a different feel. Probably go back to the breaking ball here again. You'd think.
Missed with the fastball away, 3-1.
Or the fastball in the other box.
If you're J.D. Stubbs, 2 outs, runners on first and second, what's your approach here?
Well, it's 3-1, right? So you're in a situation where you got to stay on the plate, right?
Watch his ball 4 go by. Didn't chase the breaking ball.
In a situation, you can't really cheat to the fastball because like facing a guy that's not throwing the fastball over the plate, you got to respect the off speed.
As Jonathan Hab warming up, that was number 18.
And not a single digit, by the way, so don't ask me for any more help.
It's 300 some feet away. That's not easy. You get the pass on that one. Chris Davis on third, Rudy Ramirez on second, J.D. Stubbs on first. All three reached, well, with 2 outs. Davis hit into the fielder's choice, which was the second out. But Malik Bolin, not a batter you want to face in this scenario. 0 for 1 today, a walk and an RBI. First pitch, breaking ball misses. Just couldn't find that outer part of the zone. 1-0.
And he's asking where that missed. You never like to see that as a coach, right? Means our pitcher's head might not be in the place that it needs to be.
2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch. Hard hit. Tucks it inside the third base bag. That'll score at least 1. Ramirez coming around third. He's in to score. The throw to third cut off. And Bolin will retreat to first. A 2 RBI single. It's 6-4 Beavers. And the runs just keep on coming.
Just the free passes and the defensive miscues, right, have added up for both sides and turned some innings that should be 1-run innings into crooked numbers.
Beavers take the first lead, and all that damage comes with 2 away.
Just behind in the count against every guy, right? I mean, that was.
And Taylor Jelenkowski coming out. That likely the end of the day for Carson Ferry. Had moments where he was looking strong, just couldn't put it all together. Beavers hitting too much for him. Looks like Jonathan Hab coming out. He'll warm up, and we'll step aside when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Mammoths. You're watching the USPBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Jonathan Hab on the mound, the Georgia Gwinnett product, trying to limit the damage here in the fourth. 4 runs already across for the Beavers. Ray Hilbrick coming up to bat, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a groundout. Take a look at the numbers for Hab this season.
Is there any more bullpen look than gold spikes and a Fu Manchu?
It is a great look for Hab. It is one of the better ones you'll see. Is count 2-0, trying to find the zone. Hab 13 2/3 innings of work, 19 punch-outs, only 6 walks. ERA sitting at about 4.61, has given up 11 hits in that time as well.
An interesting delivery, kind of that short stride, quick front hip, high slot.
Hab will come at you, 4-seam slider, curveball, changeup. Nothing overly fancy. 4 pitches, and Hilbrick gets an easy walk. Christian Ortega coming up to bat. Remember, he led off the inning.
Was that this inning?
Yes, it was this inning. He walked, later came around to score. Second at bat, second pitcher he faces. First pitch fastball, hums in at 93 for strike 1.
Yeah, we were just talking here. I mean, this is a 2,600 RPM fastball, 20 inches of vertical break. It's pretty tough for the hitters to get on top of, and explains the strikeout numbers for sure.
Oh, the swing was on top of that one. Ground out finishes the inning. Ortega bounces out. Beavers take the lead, 6-4. They're on top. Mammoths coming up to bat. You're watching the USPBL Network.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great time at Jimmy John's Field, experiencing another exciting baseball game. This ballpark is one of many quality-of-life recreational assets Macomb County has to offer. And as you leave here today, let me invite you to explore Macomb County's diverse range of outdoor assets by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. You'll find that Macomb County's trails are open year-long and available for walking, running, biking, as well as paddling along the Clinton River. In Macomb County, there is something for everyone. Find out more about Macomb County's 4 seasons of fun by visiting MakeMacombYourHome.com. Now let's play ball.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
And we're back.
We are indeed back. 6-4 Beavers on top. Zach Beadle leading us off. Went deep last time. He's got the look tonight.
Yeah, that's the deep V, I think they call it.
First pitch misses away. And right now it feels like whoever can get that shut down quiet inning going to take control of this game.
Need a zero. You're right.
In the bottom of the 4th, 6-4 Beavers have not had a scoreless inning since the top of the 2nd. Is see some kids having some fun out on that hill in right field. Swing and a miss. Healthy hack at the fastball, 1-2. Luukkonen into the windup, the pitch inside. Beadle turns out of the way, 2-2. It's Beadle, Seltzer, Austin. Bottom 3rd of the order. 2-2, wave and a miss, tailing away.
Good change up there.
Had him swinging through it. Sure, that's a pitch you like to see. That's one that's going on the highlight reel.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're trying to do, right? Get the hitter out front, running away from him.
7 punch-outs for Greg Luukkonen. Had a pretty nice day. Only problem is when he's been hit pretty hard. Had that 2-run home run, had a triple, which led to another run coming across the score. When he's been on, it seems like he's controlled a lot of the at-bats.
Yeah, no, mostly thrown the ball well. Couple defensive miscues, cost runs. Certainly doesn't feel like he'd have given up 4 at this point.
Ooh, wow, swinging out of his shoes, Colby Seltzer on that 2-0 pitch. He was trying to put one onto the Chevy Pavilion out and left.
That's the right swing, 2-0. You wanna do damage, you wanna foul it back, or you wanna miss it, right? You certainly don't want to make any weak contact, 2-0.
Hits it hard, but right at Rudy Ramirez. He had to take maybe a half step. Good swing for Seltzer, goes unrewarded, and there's 2 away. Brings up Trevor Austin, and knock on wood, we might have a scoreless half inning, although we've seen 2-out rallies already tonight.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Austin. Watch a strike 1 on that low inside part of the plate.
One of the better breaking balls we've seen from him right there.
0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. See some of our Star Wars fans out here on Star Wars night that braved the rain delay, stayed out here. Not too long, and then, they're going to be back to school. There's going to be a school night before too long. Probably enjoying the last little bit of freedom.
I would be.
1-2. This is low and inside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Nobody on. 6-4 game. Beavers on top here in the bottom of the 4th. In the dirt, 3-2. Austin's worked it back to full.
Good take right there.
Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Austin was getting ready to head down to first. Instead, he's going to take the long, lonely walk back to the dugout. Would you look at that? A 1-2-3 inning. Couple of strikeouts for Greg Luukkonen. We head to the 5th. 6-4 Beavers here on the USPBL network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Back here on the USPBL network, Hab back out there for a second inning of relief, as expected. He did his job coming out of the pen. He will face Marcus Judd, Alex Crump, and Ben Wilcoxon as the Beavers are about to complete their 3rd time through the order. They have been busy at the plate tonight.
talking a little bit in his last half inning about some of the traits of his fastball. He's throwing some with 20 inches of vertical break and only 2 horizontal. That's pretty elite fastball traits. That's really what a lot of big league organizations are trying to sign guys based on. And I know he spun a breaking ball at almost 3,000 RPMs, which is a 99th percentile. So
right.
This is actually a guy I'm surprised hadn't been signed yet based on those traits, and not walking a million guys either. So
Hab has the frame for it too, 6'3", 205. Now, to peel the curtain back a little bit, you'll see more guys signed out of the USPBL early in the year, because once the draft happens, the organizations are going to give their investments a little time. Now, start of next year, there's already some guys that are hopeful that you might see a guy like a Jake Wazinski that is here for a start as the 0-2, swing and a miss from Judd, completes the out, 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th. A guy like a Jake Wazinski that was here for 1 start, had a lot of momentum coming from last year. Kyle Bischoff, another one, here for 2 starts, and then the Twins nabbed him up. I think there's a few guys that are candidates for that at the start of next season.
Well, this is one of them, that's for sure. That was a banger right there to get the punch out. There's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but that's actually a big league breaking ball. So is that.
Starts off right at the knees. I mean, if you're Alex Crump, you're not looking for that.
No, it's just, I mean, whether that was at the knees, the belt, or whatever, it's too good. No one's gonna see that. That was a great take right there. Have to be sitting on it to take it.
Coming into this game, batting average against was 196 for Hab. So with that small sample size, 196 batting average, 461 ERA, numbers don't quite add up. Tell you, look a little deeper in the numbers, he's given up maybe a few more extra base hits. And then you would have liked a little more power, a couple home runs, so that can inflate the ERA. And that's why, especially not a lot of the more new wave baseball minds looking to those deep numbers, is Crump puts one high, not very deep down the left field line, drops foul.
Well, this is also a guy that needs to try to pitch at the top of the zone, and what you're seeing is he's missing down with the fastball anyway, more than he'd like. And these the guys that try to throw that 4-seam vertical rise fastball, when they'll tend to get beat is when they're at the knees, with the hard stuff. So either way, I think I'd give this young man a shot.
Hab has not even had his 24th birthday, so still relatively young as that curveball misses upstairs. Turns 24 at the end of the month, the 31st. He's hoping to continue this outing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, looking for his 2nd straight strikeout.
He was at Gwinnett this spring?
Yes, he was indeed. Georgia Gwinnett, a pretty good program, is evidenced by the plethora of Gwinnett players we have here in the USPBL.
I think the NAIA World Series champs 2 years ago, maybe. So. See if he can't throw that fastball at the belt or even a little above here and get a swing through.
Went with the breaking ball inside.
And the hitter's taken some breaking balls below the zone, fouled some off. Shows me he's trying to stay late with 2 strikes and done a pretty good job staying on that one. I'd probably try to get something by him up top there.
Payoff pitch. Another off speed. That one at the knees, so back-to-back off speed. Come with the challenge pitch up high.
Yeah, he's just, 3-2, you're trying to throw a strike, right? And what he's showing you now is that the breaking ball is the pitch that he feels like he can keep getting over. So I think at this point, you may just keep spinning him up there.
Do it again. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got the 92 by him right down the pipe.
And you talk about 92, and we've seen other 92-mile-an-hour fastballs in this game, but not that the hitters have made look like they're 100, right? And that's what you get with that high spin, high induced vertical break, to use some buzzwords for you there.
And that's why, to maybe the casual fan, some guys, when they're throwing 92, like we said, looks like a normal 92, and then you have the guys where it feels like it gets faster as it gets to the plate. It almost explodes into the mitt.
Watch the hitter, right? The hitter will tell you what it looks like. And it's really interesting that the more and more data and information that we have the last few years with the technology and, TrackMan and all that kind of stuff. Before, even 10 years ago, there's guys that there wasn't really an explanation for why they were able to do what they could, right? I mean, think about a guy, I'll throw a weird name again, Matt Cain, right? Was a guy that had a lot of success for a long time with the Giants. That was a low 90s guy that just always threw fastballs by hitters, and no one really knew why. I venture a guess that he was probably a high spin, high induced vertical break guy.
0-2 on Wilcoxon. Check swing, no swing. Pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Change eye level, go back up the ladder with the next pitch.
If you can do it, absolutely.
Looking for back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Hab delivers outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Hab set the delivery. Low and in from 0-2 to 3-2. Wilcoxon's done a nice job out of the 9-hole. Worked a walk last time up. Is at least going to see a 6th pitch in this at-bat.
Well, that'll be the thing for Hab, is just getting himself to throw that special fastball.
Oh, a swing, a miss, bat goes flying, and, well, that's about as good of a breaking ball as you can throw. That Hab's got to feel pretty good about himself as he strolls back to the dugout. Strikes out the side in order. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-4 Beavers here on the USPBL Network.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Back here on the USPBL Network, 6-4 Beavers. We are in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, due up for the Mammoths from the Westside. Nick Webb, Trey Williams, Nelson, and Patrick Mills. And Greg Luukkonen still on the mound as he's, well, had a delayed start as he tries to get all that dirt out of his shoe. He's doing the best he can, and again, that's why you can't look at sometimes the box score, because it can lie to you about an outing. You come out of this, if you're Luukkonen, at least the swing and miss stuff has been there, has only walked, looking through it, 2 guys, but just the mistakes he's made, he's paid for dearly.
Yep, generally worked ahead of the hitters, but you look up and you're in the 5th and you've given your team a 2-run advantage. That's you've done your job. But definitely could have limited even more with some of the defensive stuff and a couple freebies at some inopportune times.
Gets weak contact, and Stubbs steps on first. Webb quickly retired. Brings up Trey Williams. Nelson tripled his last time up. Later came around to score. Last run that scored for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. It was a really nice two-strike approach from Williams Nelson. Took it the other way, and Hilbrick was on his horse, just couldn't quite get the glove to it, and the speedy Williams Nelson ended up on third.
Got beat a little bit, sliced one in the right field corner, and wish I had my stopwatch because he was scooting a little bit.
Right. There's a reason why he was a draft pick, played in the Angels organization. A lot of things to like with this young man. Line shot, left field. Ramirez can't get to it in time. Nelson on his horse, he ends up at second. He's seeing the ball well. That was 100 miles per hour off the barrel.
Good swing there. Another kind of rolling breaking ball over the middle part of the plate.
It's a 14th round pick of the LA Angels back in 2018. You can see some of the tools he has and why a scout would like what they see from Williams Nelson.
That was a high school draft?
It was out of high school. Out of North Shore High School in Houston. Ground ball from Mills. Judd retires. Williams Nelson up to third, but with two away, it'll likely take a base hit to score the Mammoth center fielder standing on third. Now Fox Liam, last time up, thought he got a hold of one to right field. Certainly had the sound off the bat. Just missed it. But in his first two at-bats, seems like he's been seeing the ball well. Now the third time he'll face Luukkonen. Fastball gets the call on the outer edge, 0-1. Six-4 Beavers in the fifth. Another pitch on the outer portion of the plate. Fox Liam maybe hoping he got it. Got that call. He did not, quickly behind 0-2.
A tough start to the AB here for Liam.
Go away again or try to bust him inside?
Well, if they're going to give him 4 inches off the plate, I'd probably try to live there.
That's part of knowing the umpire as a pitcher. Got to know where, hey, or maybe the high strike hasn't been there as much, so he's given a little off the plate. He went with the breaking ball away. 1-2 to Liam. Williams Nelson on third. 1-2. Breaking ball off the plate. Like that take from Liam.
Absolutely. Even if they're going to call stuff that's off the plate a strike, you're never going to make any money swinging at balls.
Let's work the count even to 2-2. Luukkonen looking for his 8th punch out of the day. Fly ball right field. Hilbrick going back, settles underneath of it, and Liam just misses it once again. Trey Williams Nelson double does not come to pass, and look at that, a scoreless 5th inning. We head to the 6th. 6-4 Beavers on top here on the USPBL network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Top of the 6th. Jonathan Hab rolled through last inning, looking to keep it going. Struck out the side in the 5th. In the 6th, he'll face Chris Davis, Rudy Ramirez, J.D. Stubbs, and they have not been easy outs. You look at them on the game. Combined, they are 3 for 7 with 2 RBIs and a double and 3 runs scored. So top of the Beaver order has done their job.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see here because this is the kind of guy where if he executes his stuff, it doesn't matter who he's facing. He's not going to give up any runs.
Chris Davis, 1 for 3. Recorded an RBI last time. Check swing. Goes right to Hab. Underhand flip and neutralizes the leadoff threat.
Yeah, that was interesting swing right there. What he's showing us is that the breaking ball is the pitch that he feels like he can get over.
Right.
And thing for him will be just training himself to throw that fastball at the belt and above.
Well, and Davis has shown throughout the year that he is one of the more disciplined hitters. So when you're getting a guy like that on a check swing, out on the front foot, unsure of himself, it tells me you're doing something right tonight.
Well, guys that haven't played in the big leagues just don't see very many 3,000 RPM breaking balls.
Right. So for maybe the casual baseball fan, one that doesn't go deep into the analytics, when you talk about spin rate, what is the difference it makes? What is, maybe for the casual observer, what does that mean? How can they see a fastball when they say, hey, that was a spinny pitch?
Right.
What do you mean by that? What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, so this is a guy that with the fastball and the breaking balls is a high spin guy. With the fastball, if you're spinning a 4-seamer above 2,500 RPMs, you're talking about a pitch that's not going to be as impacted by gravity as most other pitches, right? So it's going to cut through the air better, and it's going to drop less. So the hitter's used to seeing a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, right? That's going to have 10, 12 inches of vertical break, we call it. Well, this is 20, right? So it's going to be significantly higher than their eyes project it to be. Basically the opposite with the breaking ball, right? It's going to break more and later with higher spin. So, and I'm one of the less analytically and tech inclined guys out there, but I'm sure somebody could give you an even more detailed explanation. But that's the basics.
3-2 fastball. Got it by him, and I think that's a perfect example of the spinny fastball. That was only 90 on the gun. Looked a lot faster than 90 and got it by a good hitter in Ramirez.
Absolutely. No, I mean, you talk about, that's the kind of deal where the hitter, comes back to the dugout and says it's really taken off, right? It's really taken off. I don't care what the radar gun says, it's really taken off.
So since Habs come in, got Ortega to bounce out to end the 4th. Struck out the side in the 5th, and has gone weak, bounce out, strikeout here in the 6th.
So 6 up, 6 down, right? And not a lot of hard contact to speak of.
No. Ball has not left the infield. That's exactly what you want out of a bullpen guy, a guy that stops the momentum in the tracks, gets the game back on the rails a bit, and allows your offense a chance to settle in and try to scratch those 2 runs back.
No question. He doing everything they could ask.
0-2 to Stubbs. Didn't chase away. 1-2. See some action in the Beaver bullpen. A righty warming up.
I just see a significant beard is what I see.
That is quite the beard. Believe that might be LaGuire Cruz. We'll have to double check. Two balls, 2 strikes to J.D. Stubbs.
One of the things I think you try to do with an arm like this is you'll see the catcher is moving left and right horizontally a little bit. I think you want to do that a lot less with a guy like this who's trying to pitch top to bottom, as we call it. Just stay in the middle of the plate and try and get that fastball up and breaking ball down. And
Stubbs has worked the count full. He's hit by a pitch, grounded out, but drove in a run and walked his last time up. So a little bit of everything stuff in the stat sheet. Just looking for a base hit to add to the line. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off speed.
It's the Uncle Charlie, they used to call that.
That was a heck of a pitch, and you know he's feeling it when he throws it on 3-2. 5 strikeouts for Jonathan Happ through the first 7 batters he's faced. Still 6-4 Beavers. You're watching the USPBL Network.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here on the USPBL Network, Greg Luukkonen, he is back out on the mound for a 6th inning of work. He will face 5, 6, 7 in the order: Livingston Morris, Alex Garbasick, and Zach Beadle. Livingston Morris, strikeout and a walk on the line. 3rd time he's seen Luukkonen, and traditionally it's when the averages go up the more you see a pitcher. Big swing, 0-1. But it's always the cat and mouse game. Batter's going to make the adjustment, so the pitchers have to make the adjustment. How much of that is kind of pre-planned? Hey, when we get through it again, we want to start more fastballs, work maybe this pitch in, or how much of it is just the feel of the game?
It's you always have a plan, right? But the plan tends to change as you go. And
right.
And really, I mean, you're like you said, you're playing a cat and mouse game, right? The hitter's trying to figure out what he thinks is coming, right? And the pitcher's trying to figure out what the hitter thinks is coming. Mm-hmm. And it's a back and forth, right? And you know, as a coach, if you're calling pitches or you know, getting with your hitters, and as far as, you know, what you're looking for, you got to get the guys to understand that, like, you're not always going to be right, but you got to just stay committed, because when you're in trouble as a hitter is when you're in between, right? Mm-hmm. When you're trying to cover multiple pitches.
2-2 to Morris. 3-2 to Morris. Livingston Morris was a national champion, not in baseball growing up, but in the javelin, in USA track and field.
Excuse me?
He was a national champion in the javelin as he swings and misses at the breaking ball.
Swung the javelin right there.
Yeah, I mean, he, just like the last inning ended, that 3-2 breaking ball swings through it, but
his hitters, you can really get in trouble. You get in a 3-2 count and start cheating, right? And thinking it's a fastball count. 3-2 is not a fastball count. 3-2's I need to stay late and cover both count.
9 Ks for Greg Luukkonen. Just a pair of walks. Alex Garbasick comes up to bat. 0 for 2, grounded out, struck out. Two and 0.
Brady, do you have a broadcaster you have a favorite? You mold yourself after anyone?
I think you have to be your own person. I mean, just like anything, you can take inspiration from people. I mean, I'm sure as a coach you have people you take a little bit from here, take a little bit from there. But I do like the local guys here in Detroit. I think Dan Dickerson does an excellent job with the Tigers. I don't think you'll get many better voices of baseball around. 2-2 the count now to Garbasick. And for a guy like him, and you're not aware, for those watching all over the country. Dan Dickerson's been the voice of the Tigers for about 20 years, and he followed up Ernie Harwell, who was the voice of the Tigers for, about 30-some-odd years, and could have ran for governor in Michigan and won in a landslide. The breaking ball catches Garbisic looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Luukkonen puts him at double digits, so he's looking strong. But it would basically be like having to follow up whoever the next center fielder is for the Angels, following up Mike Trout. And if he's not, no one's ever going to be Mike Trout, but following up one Hall of Famer with the other. It's like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. I think you have two of the best ever in the span of the last 50-some years. So I'd say he's probably one that I've listened to since I was very young and try to learn from all the time.
I'm a Hawk Harrelson guy myself.
Yeah.
Grew up a White Sox fan. Love the Hawk.
Ground ball left side, snagged by Ortega. Orients himself, throws to first, and Beetle retired. Ortega flashes the leather, and it's a 1-2-3 inning here in the sixth. Still 6-4 Beavers. Scoreboard been stagnant. You're watching the USPBL Network.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Back here at Jimmy John's Field on the USPBL Network, and, well, due to the rain delay, just got word this will be a 7-inning game. So this being the top of the seventh changes up the complexion of this game a little bit.
Yeah, it's always interesting when the length of the game changes mid-game.
Right. Because usually you try to, as a coach or a manager, you try to set out the plan coming into the game, and sometimes, well, plans have to change. And I guess the silver lining for Taylor Jelenkowski, even though his Mammoths are down 2 runs, playing a lot of games in a short amount of time at least saves a couple innings on the arms.
Yep, just give him a better chance going into the rest of the weekend. But if I'm coaching, I want my 3 ABs here to try and close the 6-4 lead.
Malik, Bolin, Ray, Hilbrick, Christian, Ortega, 4, 5, 6, middle third of the order due up. Strike one called to Bolin. Followed up his 2 home run performance yesterday. Right now, 1 for 2 with 3 RBI, so have a weekend, Malik. Oh, 0-2 to Bolin. And as Jonathan Habb, why not just run him back out there? He's been electric all night long.
And not a lot of good-looking swings being taken against this young man.
Gets a weak grounder to the left side. Garbisic across the diamond easily retires Bolin. 1 up, 1 down. So the fans that braved our 45-minute rain delay stuck it out. After they saw the offensive explosion, they've seen some good pitching as well.
Yeah, certainly out of the bullpen here on this side and Luukkonen on the other. Done a good job. Couple good defensive plays, too. The game's starting to settle in. Obviously, the play at third and 10 last inning, really, really nice drop step into the 6-hole. And right there, too, going to his left to take a hit away.
Ray Hilbrick went down looking, grounded out, worked a walk in his latest appearance at the plate. 1-0 breaks just off the plate, 2-0. Maybe a bit up as well. Three and 0. 3 balls, no strikes. This is a spot Hab has not found himself in. Down 3-0 and going to the breaking ball 3-0.
Said it earlier, that's what he thinks he can get over, right? We're just looking at some of the TrackMan stuff here, and as elite as the metrics on the fastball are.
That ball crushed down the right field line, but foul.
Doesn't go where he wants it to quite often enough yet, and he's got a tendency to cut it sometimes, I think by accident. But he's throwing like some 8-inch cutters at 89, 90. Which is great unless you don't plan on it cutting.
Pitch misses low. Ball 4. First walk given up. And Jordan, I want to get your opinion on something. So recently I was listening to an interview with Matt Olson, batter for the Braves, and he mentioned something. Hilbrick, I think that one, if he straightens it out, that one's over the fence. That's a home run. He goes, there's 3 things that could happen when you hit a foul ball home run. Either you straighten it out and you put it over the fence, or you walk or you strike out. Do you think that's true as a coach? Do you think that's something that once you put one over the fence foul, there's usually those are the 3 things that happen?
Yeah, I don't know that I could tell you that I've seen that be the case. I'm not sure that makes the result of one pitch makes the next pitch any more likely necessarily, but I'm sure he has
just saying, like,
something in his
it gets
career
in the
to go
head,
off of.
and what you start thinking about is, ooh, I got a hold of that one. I can put one over the fence.
Decreases the likelihood of the soft contact or whatnot.
Right, you're not trying to poke one the other way.
Sure.
0-2 to Ortega, misses away, 1-2.
I'm sure he has some basis for that. I'm not sure that I've seen anything in my career to make me think that, but
there aren't a lot of advanced analytics for foul ball home runs.
Yeah, I don't know that we could check the history on that.
Ortega tattoos one to deep left. All Webb can do is look up, and it's gone. Ortega flashes the leather last half inning, and here in the top of the 7th, adds on to the lead, 8-4 Beavers.
Really good swing there. I mean, what you're seeing is just they're starting to sit all over the breaking ball, right? It's the only thing he's been able to throw in the zone. The fastball, not able to keep him honest with the fastball. And as good as that breaking ball is, you sit on breaking ball. It's pitch that you can do a lot of damage with, especially when it's middle like that one was.
And Hab, who has had such a solid outing, a walk and a blast, and now all of a sudden the line score looks very pedestrian.
He's into his 4th inning, pitching into a piece of his 4th inning, right?
In the first, but
probably longer than he's used to going. He's doing so well, they're probably stretching him out a little bit. 2-pitch guy, throws a ton of curveballs. Probably going to be more of your 1 or 2 inning type.
Mm-hmm. But again, when you have a short bullpen, you're going to have to try to stretch guys out. Judd hits it hard down the line, foul.
He just needs to find his fastball. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
Talked about, I guess, the adjustment to the adjustment. Hey, batters have started going sit breaking ball. That's his go-to pitch. If he finds the fastball and you get some guy sitting off speed, most hitters, if you're sitting off speed and you come with the fastball, you're DOA.
Especially this fastball, right? But he's just at the times that he's thrown it, he's yanked some, he's cut some, he's missed below the zone a lot. Just hadn't been able to throw it over enough to make the hitters respect it.
On the other thing, Ortega was the first batter he faced. So maybe the second time through, a little better plan of attack against this pitcher, and guys chatting in the dugout, get some good scouting reports, know how to go up that second time.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss. Gets Judd swinging. 2 away. 6 strikeouts for Happ.
That'd be less.
Brings up Alex Crump. A triple, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-0. Now you look at the pitch count, I mean, for a reliever, and the term reliever starter in this league, very fluid. You'll get guys that were starters all throughout their career in college, come in, they're a reliever. Just about every pitcher that's been here for any serious amount of time will have started a few games. You can get it's not as beholden as you see in the major league, so while, yes, he's thrown 58 pitches, just because he came out of the bullpen doesn't necessarily mean he's only a 25, 30 pitch guy.
But as a 2-pitch guy, I mean, you're talking about he's got 13 appearances and 13 and 2/3 innings on the year, right? So he's a 1 inning average per appearance guy. We're looking at some of the college stats. Pitched out of the bullpen in college. You know, we're probably just getting to his outing lifespan here.
3-1 to Crump. Ball 4.
And you see it's just all breaking balls. 3-1 breaking ball. That case shows you just doesn't trust the fastball to get it over.
There's nobody warming up for the Mammoths. Again, the Mammoths have to turn around, play a couple more times this weekend. Starts tomorrow. They host the Utica Unicorns. It's Hispanic night presented by the Ideal Group. 7:05 first pitch. Unicorns against the Mammoths. And then on Sunday they come back against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. That's going to be a big one. Ryan Kotke's crew has been nipping at the heels of the Mammoths for the last couple of weeks, trying to overtake first place. It's a 1 o'clock Sunday start. And in between, Hoppers and Unicorns on Saturday. 2-0 to Wilcoxon, and I think you're starting to see that arm fatigue, missing the zone more. Just trying to get over that finish line. 3-0. And if you walk Wilcoxon, that lineup turns over. And while the last time through handled them pretty well, still have been guys swinging the bat well tonight.
Yeah, he's out of gas, and home plate starting to jump around on him a little bit, as you see right there. There's the cutter.
Third walk of the inning. There's an arm warming up in the pen, but he just started getting moving. Have a righty down that left field line. Chris Davis comes up to bat, been held in check out of the leadoff spot, but in a meeting on the mound, waited a long time before coming out of that third base dugout. Maybe strategically to try to give your guy in the pen a little extra time. With how far of a walk it is.
Well, I was going to say that 100-yard jaunt out there from the dugout to the mound.
You can take your sweet time and give your warm-up guy probably 20, 30 extra seconds. Always gamesmanship. Looks like that is Tyler Richley warming up. Have to imagine, don't know how warm Richley is. Still, it looks like in the early stages of his
not a ton of urgency down there right now. So I think they're just hoping he can throw one over and they'll hit it at somebody and he can get out of there.
Chris Davis, you have to be a gambling man to bet against Chris Davis in that situation. And coming into the game, you see the numbers they jump off the page, nearly hitting 350, 6 home runs, third in the league. He hits for power, he hits for average, he can work walks. He has been just one of the dudes at the plate all year long. And while guys have gone up and down, gone in slumps, he has been steady Eddie out of the leadoff spot for the Beavers.
Well, and he knows it's all breaking balls, right? So you don't have to take the fastball out of your mind, sit on the breaking ball.
Especially a guy like Chris Davis, went to Princeton, then went to Duke.
Telling me he's smart?
I'm telling you, he's a pretty smart young man. 2-1, and it was Marcus Judd, the Beavers' second baseman. We talked about it last night. Said when he needs a scouting report, when he wants to learn something about a pitcher, Chris Davis is the first guy he goes to. So he understands the assignment right now. 3-1. Catches the knees. Count goes full 3-2. But a big RBI spot with the runners on the move.
Going to have some movement here. Need a strike.
Payoff pitch. Strike 3. Called through the back door. Caught Davis looking. 2 runs do come across to score on the Christian Ortega shot over the left field fence. We head to the bottom of the 7th, which will be the final inning. Mammoths need 4, but first we will have Take Me Out to the Ball Game, sponsored as always by Genesis Credit Union.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Bottom of the 7th. Final 3 outs for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Again, if you're just joining us wondering, why is the 7-inning game? It's not a doubleheader where we usually play 6. Well, it's because 10 pitches into the game, rain started coming after a very wet afternoon, caused a 45-minute delay, and with the time limit, this will be the final half inning as Jonathan LaGuire Cruz comes in to pitch. A newcomer to the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers out of Franklin College, the Lafayette, Indiana native. His first outing here in the USPBL. They will face 8-9-1 in the Mammoth order. And when you need 4 in the final inning, Jordan, name of the game, base runners, right?
Yep, probably taking a strike here. You know, facing a guy in his first outing in the league. Definitely need to see if he can throw it over.
McGuire Cruz through just 28 innings this past year for Franklin. Gave up 20 hits, so that's not terrible. The ERA is sitting at about 6. So not where you want it, but they just need 3 outs from him here in the 7th. Get their second straight win. Knock off the top 2 teams, and Beavers trying to climb into second place. That 2-0 over for a strike, 2-1.
Where's Franklin College, Brady?
Franklin College, I believe, is in Indiana, if I'm correct.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I am about 80% sure it's in the Hoosier State.
A 1 in 50 chance.
I know it's not in Michigan, so.
Okay, you're right, 49.
Franklin College is in Franklin, Indiana.
There you
Look
go.
at that. Not as well versed on my Indiana geography. Misses outside 3 and 2. Well, with an enrollment of 880, I don't know how I could miss it. 3-2 bounces in. Seltzer does exactly what you want from your leadoff man. In the bottom of the final inning, works a walk.
It's exactly what you don't want if you're a Beaver right there, right? Just got a 4-run lead off walk. Probably not going to give up 4 runs unless you help him. Give him some freebies.
Good news is, tying run for the Mammoths still in the dugout. 8-4 here in the 7th. Bunt pulled back for a strike, 0-1. McGuire Cruz.
If that was a real attempt, I love it right there. You just need a runner. The third baseman's playing back.
0-1 gets away from Crump. Runner moves up. Runner on second, although that run fairly inconsequential, down 4 in the 7th, which, again, final inning. LaGuardia Cruz throws both a 2 and 4 seam fastball, a slider, and a splitter.
Well, getting to second right there may not be that valuable. It keeps you out of the double play, though, right? It eliminates the possibility of the double play, a better chance to extend the inning.
And you like that he saw it in the dirt, got a good secondary jump. Wasn't really a threat.
Got a chance to get a free base, you take the base.
Right. 2-1 to Austin, the 9-hole hitter, 0 for 2 today. Swing and a miss, Tardy on a fastball. Wire Cruz comes set, checks the runner at second, delivers. 3 and 2.
He's walked one, and you're full on this guy. This is where, as a coach, you get another ball here. You're probably slamming your clipboard on the bench first and then looking down and maybe getting somebody else moving.
Gets the strike 3 called. Generous strike 3, and Trevor Austin will take a perturbed walk back to the dugout as Nick Webb comes up to bat.
A little bit of an assist to the home plate umpire there.
We'll say he has been giving the outside pitch to both sides most of the night, but that was a generous one, as LaGuardia Cruz will get that ball into the dugout. His first professional strikeout, so whether by hook, by crook, doesn't matter. He now can hang his hat on the fact he's made it to professional ball. He's recorded a strikeout, an exciting moment in anyone's career. Nick Webb swings and misses at the first pitch. First one always seems like it's the hardest.
Yeah, let's see if he settles in now and starts filling up the zone a little bit.
Webb has not had a good at-bat tonight. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Be a great time. See the ball well, get on base.
It just looks a little jumpy up there right now.
The last 3 were to the lefty Luukkonen.
And you could tell him in particular, he had a really tough time seeing it. But
Now,
just that take right there, you just
right.
watch, he kind of came up out of his legs, right? It's a sign that the guy's not really under control in the box.
In a good hitter's count, 2-1. With the 4-run cushion, might be a little more aggressive. Might be able to look for your pitch. See if he tries to get it over here. 2-1. Inside, goes to the backstop. It will move Seltzer up, but again, down 4. Your job on the base path, just don't run into an out.
Once you're off first, no question, don't run into an out. That's where the 3-2 generous strike 3 call is looking pretty big now, right? You could potentially be looking at walking the bases loaded with nobody out.
Right. Runner on third, 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Through the time limit, the final inning. Ball 4. Webb does what he needs. Works the walk. Runners on the corners. There's some movement down in the Beaver bullpen as John Dombrowski comes out. Have a conversation.
I think that may have been the old school makeup call right there, Brady.
Well, it all evens out in the end, doesn't it?
That's what they say. As a coach, you never feel like it does.
No.
Though. You feel like you're getting hosed no matter what.
And LaGuire Cruz, his night will end very quickly as we head to the pen. Looks like, see who that is coming out. Is that Jesse Galindo? I believe it is. Galindo taking a long stroll out from the right field line. And as he makes his way to the mound, trying to close this game out, we'll step aside. Bottom of the 7th. Mammoths still need 4. You're watching the USPBL Network.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Jesse Galindo back on the mound. Pitched yesterday, pitched well for the Beavers, and he's coming in trying to finish the job. He'll inherit runners on the corners. 8-4 bottom of the 7th. This will be the final inning. However, tying run for the Mammoths will be in the on-deck circle. Dre Williams-Nelson coming to the plate. He's tripled, he's doubled in his last 2 at-bats. That's what he's the guy you want to see at the plate and just put the pressure on. Anytime that tying run comes to the plate in the final inning, as a manager, I'm sure you tense up a little bit. You gotta hold your breath. Heart rate gets moving a little quicker.
Yeah, no question. Obviously going to the bullpen there, just couldn't afford to walk another guy and go into a guy that they trust to throw the ball over the plate. Kind of an old school look on the mound here. Couple arm angles.
Some pitches he throws exclusively from one slot. Some he'll mix up. And as a pitcher, that can be a benefit. That can be a detriment depending on how well you scout yourself and you know what's coming or what your tendencies are.
Probably the right-hand hitters is going to go from the lower slot more often would be my guess, not having seen him. But yeah, this is interesting. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat on the mound, right? And if you don't have above average stuff, you got to find a way to do something different than everybody else, and that's certainly what this is.
Hot shot fair down the right field line. That'll score at least 1. Webb coming around second to third. It was bouncing around in the corner. Have a night. Dre Williams-Nelson, his 3rd extra base hit of the game. 99 off the bat. Think he's seeing the ball well?
Yeah, that's just a missile. Slice one right down the line past the first baseman. He's just doing a really good job. It's a mature approach. All of his contact's been the other way, and done a nice job. You can see why he was an affiliated guy for a while.
Before I could even get to Jesse Galindo's stats, 4.74 ERA and 43 innings of work. Here's the numbers you like: 59 strikeouts to 18 walks.
That's what you like to see, and that's why he's in the game.
Now, the counter to that, in the 43 and 2/3 innings, 46 hits. So
about a hit an inning. again, not knowing the numbers and not having seen him much, this is the kind of guy that probably has a little bit of a hard time getting left-hand hitters out, right, from that lower angle.
The 0-1 to Mills quickly 0-2. If you want the splits, have for Jesse Galindo against lefties, 333 average, righties 233. So 100 points better against righties than lefties.
That's the kind of guy it looks like. Generally, you'll see the lower angle guys have a tough time getting opposite-handed hitters out.
1-2 to Mills. Looking for his first hit of the night. Couple of Ks on his name and a ground out. Third strikeout for Mills. Backwards K, and Mammoths are down to their final out. It's Fox Liam. But man, he's just missed the last two. He felt like he's got under just a little too much, and new arm on the mound, so it could change things up as the rain has returned so graciously for us.
Perfect.
Here at Jimmy John's Field. But Fox Liam, I mean, if he's going to square one up, I know he's only 1 for 3 on the night, but I feel like he's seeing the ball well.
He's been on the ball for sure. And the second out was a good team at bat, sac fly.
Puts one on the ground, but foul out in front of the pitch.
Feels like the game should go to extras tonight, doesn't it?
I mean, the way everything's gone, why not have a 3-run blast to tie it in the 7th? The 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. And, well, if there's two guys that could do it, so even if Liam reaches, Livingston Morris comes up, and he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. But he's still not a guy I'd like to see with a chance to walk it off. The 1-1. 2-1. And Nick Webb didn't even think about heading home.
No, right decision. Unless it's 100%, you're not going anywhere.
Two balls and a strike. Liam ahead in the count.
A yard card there, Brady?
We'll see. It feels like Liam's on it. 2-1. Trying for it. 2-2. That was as violent of a swing as you'll see.
He got him something elevated middle there and just swung right through it.
Down to their final strike. Galindo trying to slam the door.
Here's where your approach changes. You got to battle. You got to just find a way to get in a 6-hole or something and extend the game.
Strike 3 called, and Galindo gets back-to-back backwards Ks, and the Beavers win their second straight game. They knock off the first place Westside Woolly Mammoths despite the comeback effort in the 7th. Saw a little bit of everything in this game, but Jordan, it was a fun one, and for those who braved it out, I think a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of everything, but a lot of good stuff, and fun last inning with some excitement for the fans.
All right, we'll have a little bit of post-game when we come back. Carol Wolfbauer will be down with our player of the game. Short break when we come back. Talk to our player of the game and wrap it up here on the USPBL Network.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Back here on the USPBL Network, Carol Wolfbauer standing by as we get ready for our player of the game. She's standing with Malik Bolin. So in a moment, we'll send it down to her. Malik has had a heck of a weekend, and let's throw it down to Carol Wolfbauer.
The Detroit News player of the game, Malik Bolin, who was actually our player of the game yesterday as well. So we've had him 2 times now, and he was telling me last year he was also the player of the game on Star Wars night. So something's working out for him. You've been doing extremely well as of late. So yesterday you had 2 home runs, had a great outing tonight. So what has been sparking this new confidence for you?
Oh, I don't know. Just trusting my swing. Shout out to the boys. Just really trusting my swing and sticking to it. That's all it is.
Well, like we always say, baseball's always just reps and making adjustments at the plate every time. Well, you've been doing a fantastic job, but you also are a returner from last season. So you've been with us here at the USPBL, and now we're just over that, going to that second half of the season, trying to get the Beavers to another win. So how have you been feeling knowing you're a returner to help lead these guys now to championship weekend?
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet because I want to win a championship with these boys, but they took it from me last year, so let's go back to back.
Yes, he was a unicorn last year, but now he is with the Beavers, so wishing you a ton of luck this year as you head towards championship weekend. So thank you guys so much for joining us here at Jimmy John's Field. Once again, this is Malik Bolin, our Detroit News player of the game. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, and we'll send it back up to the boys in the booth. We'll see you next time at Jimmy John's Field.
Thank you, Kara. Then Malik, had a heck of a weekend, back-to-back player of the game. Beavers with a couple of wins, but wrapping up this 8-5 win, I mean, again, saw a little bit of everything. He was definitely worthy of player of the game. Thought Greg Luukkonen, even though some of the earned runs was a little high, 10 strikeouts, pitched pretty well. Saw a few guys that played well, and even maybe an honorable mention to Christian Ortega, flashed the leather, put one over the fence as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you just look at Luukkonen, things got a little rocky for him there in the second and third, but to get his team through 6 really was the biggest reason that they were able to win this one. And yeah, we saw it ended up being an exciting baseball game.
So, Jordan, I want to thank you so much for coming on your broadcast debut, and you got a little bit of everything. I promise not every game is as hectic as this one was, but you did a great job, and I hope everyone at home enjoyed it as much as I did.
Appreciate you having me, and hopefully I didn't screw it up too bad for you.
No, not at all. And it was a memorable first game, if nothing else, for you.
A lot of interesting occurrences there, especially early, that first.
Yeah, the first hour of our broadcast, there was just a little bit of everything. They never really teach you how to handle when everything's going on. They're trying to make everything's just crazy out there, but settled in, had a really nice game. Beavers win it by a final score of 8-5. We will be back tomorrow when the Westside Woolly Mammoths look to get back to their winning ways as they take on the Utica Unicorns. That'll be a 7:05 first pitch. It's a Hispanic night presented by the Ideal Group. For Carol Wolfbauer, my partner tonight, Jordan Banfield, and myself, Brady Beaton, we want to thank you for sticking through it with us throughout the long and sometimes arduous broadcast. But we got there. Great win for the Beavers. Hope you all have a safe and wonderful night.
Put your hands in the air.
These are like more karaoke like, you know.
I want to dance with somebody.